It is 6:02. Good morning from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. I'm Jackson Williams. The Titans finally in the win column for 2025 as they head to Arizona and take down the Cardinals 22-21 on this last-second field goal from Joey Sly.
Cox snaps it back. Sly lets it fly. Bullseye! Hey, Nashville! That sounds like a winner! The Tennessee Titans, 22. The Arizona Cardinals, 21.
Titans improved to 1-4 on the season. We'll head to Vegas next week to take on the also 1-4 Raiders. You can catch that game right here on The Zone next Sunday. Sunday Night Football last night as the Patriots hand the Bills their first loss of the season, 23-20. Pats quarterback Drake May, 22 of 30 for 273 yards in the win. Patriots improved to 3-2 on the season. For your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans involved. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Monday morning on Ramon and Wills starts right now, and it is fueled by Scooter's Coffee. A locally owned location is waiting to caffeinate you this morning in Rivergate, Smyrna, Brentwood, White House, or Mount Juliet. Amazing people, amazing drinks, amazingly fast. Let us be the first to invite you, to welcome you into a Victory Monday. Titans 22, Arizona Cardinals 21. Cam Ward leads an improbable comeback in the fourth quarter, and finally, your Tennessee Titans are in the win column. He is Ramon Foster. We've got Jackson Williams filling in for Justin Hawkins this morning. I'm Will Bowling. Open phone lines throughout the day at 615-737-1045. Cody Barton going to join us at 9:30. Ramon Foster, that was wild. Good morning.
Good morning. Welcome back to the South.
Thank you.
Welcome back to the South and a Victory Monday. Will, congrats on your first road win, man.
Thank you.
They're so much better, I know, coming back.
I'm glad to know I wasn't the problem.
Oh, my God.
Outstanding.
But victory. We don't have to have a funeral today. If you do call in complaint, it's critique. It's not criticize, okay? It's critique today, not criticize. And here's the thing about it. You got to say something nice before you say something bad, okay? you have to say something nice before you say something bad. I was hoping you asked me what's your headliner for this. Go ahead and ask me, Ruben.
Ramon, what is your headline of the Titans win in the desert?
A tale of 3.5 quarters. That's it. A tale of 3.5 quarters. That was fun to watch. I know I was looking at Titans Twitter yesterday. Titans Twitter was exactly what you thought it would be, Will, for 3.5 quarters. It was angry. It was mad. It was burn it all down, and rightfully so. I mean, you kind of earn that by your performance at times, but later on in the evening, I checked back, and, man, there was some happy-go-lucky people, man. What a way to finish it. A lot of stuff that we spoke about as far as what you wanted to see, what we thought would work better, tempo, getting Cam to the line of scrimmage. And there was one simple solution, I thought, to what yesterday turned into. You want to know what that was for me?
What's that?
It's amazing what happens when you catch the football. I don't know if Cam adjusted, because I won't lie. He was throwing some darts. They were coming out hot. His ball, they got to adjust to him at this point. He's going to be here the longest at this point.
Yes, within 20 yards, they have to adjust to him. Yeah. Beyond 20 yards and the deep balls, he's got to throw more accurate passes. But ultimately, yeah, you're right. We saw what Cam Ward and this Titans offense can look like when the quarterback and the receivers are on the same page and connecting.
Yeah.
We saw how good it can still be.
It's fascinating what they turned into, man. Shout out to them for staying in it, because it's as nasty as it looked early. As much as I thought Arizona was going to run away with it. Speaking of running away, I'm sure we're going to talk about him at some point too. Oh,
goodness sakes. I mean, they did run away with it. Titans just ran back.
Just ran all the way back with it. In the year of 2025, we've seen as many images that we've seen on television of people dropping the ball before they cross the end zone. you get fired for that type of stuff. I feel like it should be an instant firing at that point, Will, more than anything. Like, you do those types of things, you're fired. Like, get up out of here. But it's awesome for the Titans, though. And what a bounce of a fumble of a touchdown, too. Goodness.
Lots of incredible things that you don't see happen in a season that you saw happen within the same half. Yesterday, I was standing a couple feet from a lot of these things, and I still don't totally believe they happened. From an interception that gets fumbled into the end zone and recovered by Tyler Lockett, to Amari DiMercato dropping the football right in front of the goal line, and L'Jarius Sneed immediately knowing that was a touchback and immediately hustling and making his way. We will talk about that. We'll talk about how that was really kind of the change of the game. But Ramon, I think the overarching thing that Titans fans are going to take away from this, I'm going to steal a word and a phrase of a signature game in the SEC that Auburn fans talk about. This was the Titans version of the Cam back. Cam Ward clicked.
Yeah.
The offense clicked. Kevin Zeitler, we spoke about last week on Tuesday, said Monday to the media last week, plays are there to be made. We've just got to execute them. You'll hear from Cam Ward later in the show. He said after the game yesterday, he said, there wasn't any major adjustment we made. I just started executing. When I met with GM Mike Borgonzi for Titans Countdown on our pregame coverage yesterday, I asked him, what do you want the next step to be for Cam Ward today? And he said, trust your eyes. And I thought Cam Ward started to trust his eyes. I thought Cam Ward started to deliver accurate passes. I thought Cam Ward had the most comfortable pocket that he has ever had to throw from in a preseason or regular season game in a Tennessee Titans uniform. Yes, there were some crazy bounces that had to go to the Titans' way to win this game. But ultimately, the Titans made less critical mistakes in this football game than the Arizona Cardinals did. And today, for a young football team that needed positivity to show them that some of the plan is working and that if they stick to what they are being taught to do, they may actually have a little bit of success. That's a really big deal for this football team yesterday. For everyone to stay engaged, for everyone to stay rowing in the same direction, for your quarterback to feel like he is making progress. Ramon, there was major progress made in the fourth quarter of this game. Cam Ward, 13 of 18, 193 yards in just the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
And an interception that was turned into the touchdown, of course, that we'll talk about, and a game-winning drive as well. That is what we've been waiting for from Cam Ward.
It was, man. That resilience, like you said, as questionable as Callahan was the first 4 games with his play calling, decision making, everything else that came into it. One thing that steadily came out of the locker room was he hadn't lost the locker room. I heard you guys speak about it on the broadcast. I heard the sideline speak about it. Aditi Kinkabwala also spoke about it. I finally got
to meet in person
you
yesterday,
did?
which
super
was
nice. She's super nice,
the best.
man. She's so nice. She give you a little information over there, too. And like, she will give me information and stuff. I'm sure you'll see her again.
I'm the one that told her when DiMercato fumbled it. She ran over and was like, what was the ball out? I was like, I think so. And she was like, oh my gosh, and just walked back over the other direction. There was a very specific spot I had to stand in that stadium to get connection for my mic because that building is so big. And then we're on the other sideline that it made me a little more static. So I didn't get to talk to her a ton, but yes.
You see why the Super Bowl is held there often then. Like,
oh my gosh,
so
that
much
place
space.
Is unbelievable.
Yes, it is.
It makes NRG Stadium look like a high school stadium in terms of the size of like the structure of the building. It also makes me really excited to have a new building here.
Yeah,
honestly.
no. And that one's older.
Yes.
Yeah,
it's the house the Coach Mack built.
Yeah, no doubt about it. But everybody spoke about this, that Callahan hadn't lost the locker room. They still believe they're still fighting. We saw a little bit of that. And again, he's going to have to dig himself out of this one. More wins. Winning cures all. The old Nike ad that they had years back when Tiger, I think, won the Masters after his comeback. Like, winning cures all. Like, if they can get back to 500, that's the goal right now, is to get to 500. Having been in this spot before as a player where we were 0-4, each week seems daunting. Each week seems like the impossible task, man. Like, it sucks to be this far below 500, but you face it and say, get back to 500 is the goal.
Post-game yesterday, a very relieved Brian Callahan opened up his press conference with this.
Obviously, just really exciting to get a win, to show that kind of fight in a game where we had to claw our way back into it. It was everything that we needed to see from our football team. We've been waiting to see for a couple of weeks now, the ability to make the plays when it mattered to help us win the game. And those guys fought like crazy tonight. It was superb effort all the way around. Awesome to see. I think just the resilience of the team, the fight that they show when the way things have gone for us early on this year, to come in and fight the way they fought. And even when it didn't look good in the first half, we kept battling. And that's all that we ask of those guys. And they did a great job. I think individually, some individual efforts. Jeff Simmons continues to play at what I think is, potentially a defensive player of the year level. I mean, he's been phenomenal in every game he's played. I thought L'Jarius Sneed effort on that short yardage ball that got, it was because he was there chasing it down. That's incredible effort to make a play. And, sometimes you got to have things go your way a little bit. And that was great to see have happen. I think Cam made big plays when we needed him to. And both tight ends, Gunner and Chig and Calvin, when we needed the plays to be made, they made them. And I think that's the critical part. It's what we've been searching for the first month of the season is guys making plays when they need to make the play. So really proud of the team, really proud of the fight. And it's good to get a win. And now it's just one. We're going to try to keep rolling and keep stacking, but proud of what we showed today.
That is a very relieved and happy Brian Callahan speaking with the media yesterday. A lot of your thoughts this morning. 615-737-1045. Live for the 1045 The Zone Circus Sports Studio. Kentucky's largest sports book can now be found at Circus Sports at Kentucky Downs. We get to your calls and your thoughts and hear more from Brian Callahan coming up next.
It's Ramon and Will for Volunteer Traditions, man. Guess what? We're back on Rocky Top this upcoming weekend, and you need to get fresh, and the best way to do that is with Volunteer Traditions, man. When it comes to the Vols apparel, nobody does it better. You don't have to pick between the big shoe brands at all. No, simply, they have a store at Gallatin that you can go visit. They also have some nice fleece that they sent to the house. I'm sure they're going to be sending you some too, Will, by the way, man. Tell them a little bit more about Volunteer Tradition.
Volunteer Traditions has everything that a Vols fan need to look their best on game day, around the house, around the home, no matter what, they've got it. They've been making Tennessee apparel since 2006, and they carry everything from polos to outerwear, tees, the performance material hats. I don't love a cotton hat, but I love the performance material hats. But if you like cotton hats, they've got those too. They have literally everything you could possibly need. The retro logos, the interlocking UT, the VOLS with the star in the middle. They've got it all. Check them out online, Volunteer Traditions. Visit volunteertraditions.com and grab yours before the next kickoff. Monday morning on Ramon and Will, fueled by Scooter's Coffee, 615-737-1045. Titans 22, Cardinals 21. Lots of time for your reactions and phone calls this morning and comments as well. Streaming live at 1045 The Zone TV, Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch. This Ramon Foster from Amazon Next Gen Stats. The Tennessee Titans win probability yesterday was as low as 1.8% in their comeback win over the Cardinals, the second most improbable comeback of the season. The Titans had an average win probability of 12.1%, the lowest average win probability. Don't ask me to explain what that is. In a win in the Next Gen Stats era. That is since 2016. The Cardinals also become the first team since the merger in 1970 to lose on a walk-off field goal as time expires in 3 consecutive games. It was 21-3 early second quarter. It ended 22-21 Tennessee Titans. The defense deserves credit in this one. Cam Ward deserves a lot of credit in the way he battled back after a really rough start to this game.
As an offensive guy, I'll say this. I think the defense deserves all the credit. I mean, I know Cam cooked. He definitely did. But, like, the support that he had of the defense keeping them in the game, that's what's been most impressive about watching this team over the last, 4 weeks has been the defense has stayed steady. The defense has tried to get upfield. They've tried to create some chaos each and every time. It's just that this time, Big Jeff ended up getting help from, who was it? The rusher. Jahad Ward.
Jahad Ward had one.
Ward was able to get in.
Trayvon Jones, I thought, played a better game.
Yes, he did. There was help to be given in those moments right there. And, of course, like you said, you get turnovers or you have Kyler Murray taking the ball straight to the face mask. A lot of that type of stuff helps, man. And that's where the first few weeks you didn't see any positivity out of those types of moments. And you finally got those positive moments happening. It just helps put an extra battery in your back when it comes down to you continuing to play hard. And that was most unique to me was having watched this team be in a position to where you down 21-6, missed a field goal, just bad plays, couldn't get in the run going. But again, guys can be selfish in how they play for the team. I'm watching Jeffrey Simmons right now be selfish in how he just say, everybody watch me do work. Watch how I work and just catch up. At some point, can y'all please catch up? And that's been, I think, a saving grace for how this team ended up winning yesterday. L'Jarius also getting embarrassed. I thought last week, L'Jarius Sneed, his hustle was probably because of what last week was, having to make that up. And the way he gave up that long down and distance to Nico Collins. There was a lot more of that yesterday. And that's why I'm giving a good bit of that to the defense because they've been holding it down like that. It's good having support from time to time.
Defense did not allow a point after Bam Knight's touchdown to make it 21-3 following Tony Pollard's early fumble in the second quarter. The Titans get a spark out of a 65-yard kickoff return by Chimere Dike. They settle for another field goal from 51 from Joey Sly. It was 21-6 at the 8:29 mark of the second quarter. And then the fun started in the fourth, cutting the lead to 21-12 on a 1-yard touchdown run by Tony Pollard, a 6-play, 80-yard drive that included big catches from Calvin Ridley, Gunnar Helm with an explosive play in the red zone. Ramon, we've been waiting for more of the tight ends. I thought we got that. I thought Chikakonkwo's run down the sideline, a 12-yard gain when he catches the ball pretty much at the line of scrimmage on a check down is the best example of what this offense can still do to be dynamic, doing pretty simple things. And then the just insane play with Tyler Lockett recovering a fumble in the end zone after a Cardinals player fumbled following an interception. I have never seen anything like that. I mean, look, Brian Callahan's been saying all season, we need something to go our way. They had multiple things go their way in this football game, from DeMarcado just throwing the ball out of the back of the end zone in a moment that would have made it 28-6 to a fumbled interception in the end zone. Credit to the Titans for taking advantage when the ball bounced their direction, because we have also seen them get some breaks, like in Denver, and not take advantage of them.
No doubt. what do you call it? The interception, fumble, touchdown?
I mean, it was put in fantasy football, I think, as a pick six by Tyler Lockett. So make that make sense. Yeah, that's not the way it really should be, but that's essentially what they said.
Points are points at this point.
Crazy. Let's go to the phone. 615-737-1045. Paul leads us off first.
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Good morning.
Two takes. Number one, I'm a lifelong Dolphins. I'm an old man, so I was a Dolphins fan back when Greasy and Zonka and Mercury Morris were playing. The Dolphins fans, we're all going the wrong direction, but I'm obviously a Titans fan because I live here. It felt like in the fourth quarter, the players got to play, and they weren't being overcoached. It's almost like a no crap moment from a coaching standpoint, and they just cut the players loose. And so I think the coaches need to trust the players' abilities more and just cut them loose, man. Let them run naked through the streets because there's talent, and they can make the plays. The third thing and the last thing, and I'll get off, how do you think it feels to be a Cardinals fan?
Oof.
They've had talent. They've had Anquan Bolden, Fitzgerald, they've had teams. They went to the Super Bowl and got beat by a perfect throw from Roethlisberger.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not all bad in Nashville. I think if the coaches will cut loose and just come out naked in the first quarter instead of waiting until things are dire, just come out and play fun. And I think you got more talent than you think.
I'm with you, Paul. I don't even want to say let it all go, but yeah, most definitely. I get what you're saying.
Paul. Appreciate the call.
Be loose, but here's the thing. It's hard to be loose when you hadn't seen a whole lot of positivity. Yesterday, you were able to be loose because guys caught a rhythm. You look at that what was it, third quarter going into the fourth, they got loose because they had positivity. It's easier to have throws that shouldn't go at certain places, or Chig be of the mindset that, like you said, that quick out that he had, getting upfield because, listen, I'm the only one catching him and Gunnar Helm for a minute were the only ones bringing footballs in. You see that, you felt that, but that comes with positivity also. Callie was, yesterday the TV production showed him just being the guy that you wanted him potentially be. Bo was interesting too. I'm not sure if you paid attention to him. I'm sure you did, but his head was down, calling plays, just being in the moment.
Yep.
And nothing ever deterred them away from being as focused as I thought they should have been with the way that crowd was. And the fact, too, again, the defense stopped them from scoring. At that point, after you got the first score, the crawl back is a whole lot easier at that point.
Right. Yeah, the defense didn't technically give up the back-breaking play.
Yeah.
The defense made plays. They get a sack and force the 3-and-out on a drive where you were now within one score and wanted to get it back for your offense. L'Jarius Sneed's hustle maybe didn't jar the football loose, but at least put the pressure on Amari DiMercato to fumble it to the back of the end zone. I don't know. You'd have to ask him whether or not Sneed sprinting down there made a difference, but I don't know if I totally agree that the players weren't being overcoached in the fourth quarter. I think Cam started to play like himself a little bit more. This was not a good first three quarters for Cam Ward.
No.
It just wasn't. And I don't think that was necessarily indicative of play calling or coaching that suddenly changed. I think he started to just relax a little bit and cut loose because there was nothing else to lose. And to the caller's point, and I respect where you're coming from, but they were calling deep shots. They had two deep shots within, I think, 4 plays of each other to Chimmer DK that just weren't connected on, that were open. One of them, the underneath defender's kind of there, and you run that post from right to left, and it would have been a really tough throw, but one Cam could make, one we've seen him make before. And then 2 or 3 plays later, you've got Chim gone over the top of the defense. You just missed him.
Yeah.
So I think this was more about Cam Ward settling in, understanding there's nothing else to lose. Let's be decisive, and also a clean pocket that gave him time to make a lot of those good decisions.
Looking back at the first half of this game, Cam's feet were never chill. They were. He's like a duck underwater, man. His feet were happy. I think you saw it in how he didn't connect with guys down the field, too. If we're going to point out stuff like that, he was 31%, I think, completion percentage going into the fourth quarter. That's how bad it was. Missing Julius Chestnut down the side right there was probably minimum for a guy like him, 50 yards. You know what I'm saying? It was those moments. It was the overthrows down the field, like his ability, to your point, to calm the blank down. Like, bro, calm down.
And I think for me that started with getting some clean pockets. He was finally starting to get a clean pocket in this game, and that allowed him to go through progressions and trust his eyes.
Now,
those are the 3 words Mike Bergonzi told me he wanted to see from Cam Ward before this game down in the field. We want him to trust his eyes, and when he did, it's almost like he calmed down a little bit. He settled into the game plan a little bit.
What I will say about that, though, is this. I thought for the most part, except for the 2 sacks early on, I thought his pocket was fairly good.
That's what I'm saying. His pocket was great the whole game.
My point, is his settling down. It's like the wide receivers, y'all got to get open. And then when y'all aren't open, when you are open, catch the ball. There were times when Alec Ayumana he had the ball snapped out of his hand when he called a football. Guys had the football hit them in the faces and they were hitting the ground. So it could have been a little bit better than what it was. Even still, to your point, the cohesion that they have to have of pitching and catching and trusting that the ball's in the right spot or knowing the velocity of the ball coming out of Cam's hand, that's got to be taken up a notch or two over the duration of the game, because with these guys being pros, there's an expectation. If it hits your hands, it's coming in. Even the one where Tyler Lockett across the middle, it was a little behind and it was hot.
But go make a play for your quarterback. Yeah.
Go make a play.
Titans offense allowed 10 pressures on quarterback Cam Ward's 42 dropbacks, according to Next Gen Stats. That is a 23.8% pressure rate. Lowest of the season after allowing a 44% pressure rate in the first 4 weeks. According to Next Gen Stats, the Cardinals pass rush recorded their lowest pressure rate of the season. Arizona's defense averaged 3.13 seconds of time to pressure, which is also their longest mark this season. This was the best day of the year by the Titans offensive line, and there was not particularly really a close second.
Mm-hmm.
615-737-1045. Eric is in Nashville up next.
Hey, guys, I'm going to tell you what. One of the funniest things about, or saddest thing about last week is the common theme after last week's game was things couldn't get worse, could they? And a lot of people were saying, yes, they could. This is the Tennessee Titans with the way they play. I tell you what, guys, I left with about 1:28 left to go before the half, 21-6, and I pretty much had given up and thought, well, this game's over. I went to my church, and I got back home, and the game had just ended. And then I found out we won. I could not believe it. Usually with the way things go for us, what happened yesterday is the type of stuff that happens to us that we lose. The fact that we were able to win a game like this, guys, I was so elated. And, guys, another guy I got to give a shout-out to and give credit to. We criticize him on there all the time. You got to give props to Calvin Ridley for the way he played yesterday. He stepped up with some clutch catches yesterday, guys. Big-time receptions that he got, and also the fact the kicker was a little bit nervous. He did make the field goal to win the game, but he missed an extra point. I was a little bit nervous when that field goal just sneaked in, but we got the win. And I tell you what, hopefully, guys, we can get some guys back like J.C. Latham and DeAndre Swift. Some of those guys can come back. Who knows? Maybe we can stack some wins. Hopefully things will get better. Guys, y'all take care. Have a great rest of the day, and go Titans and tighten up.
Thank you, Eric. Appreciate the call.
Appreciate the call.
Brian Callahan, speaking post-game yesterday, says things have to go your way sometimes, and shouted out the effort from L'Jarius Sneed on the fumble in the back of the end zone.
Yeah, I mean, it was everything in the game. I mean, those two plays, sometimes things just got to go your way sometimes. And we feel like haven't had a lot of that so far this year, haven't had a lot of bounces that have come in our favor, and sometimes you need that. And, it was really, though, I think the fumble out of the end zone was just I think the highlight is Sneed's effort to go chase it down and be in the guy's body frame as he's crossing the goal line was awesome to see. And then, sometimes when the guy makes a pick and, fumbles the ball back to you, I mean, great, we'll take it.
What do you say to your defense after that? Jahai Warrior gets the sack, and that starts that whole series to get you guys the ball back. How long is Spike struggling off?
Yeah, I think that's the thing I love about the team, man. These guys, they play really hard for each other, and they knew that wasn't going to be perfect, and they knew that they had to play really good football for us to win the game. And they felt that we were struggling, and they didn't blink. They just played the next play and kept going, and they picked each other up, and they kept moving on the sideline. And that stuff is good to see, man. That's the mark of a team that's got the right makeup. And I've said that all along. We just haven't had much to show for it. But knowing the kind of game we were in, the struggles we had offensively, particularly in the first half, and even defensively we struggled in the first quarter for sure. But they just kept fighting, and they just kept playing the next play and finding a way to get it done. And then we just sort of kept chipping away at it at every turn we had. And the guys made plays when we needed them to. And I don't think we allowed a score in the second half. So really a great effort in the second half defensively to calm it down.
And Brian Callahan is correct. Not a point allowed after an early second quarter rushing touchdown.
Yep. The adjustment to letting, it be a slow bleed to what Marvin Harrison Jr. could have did to you, I thought was unique. Getting after Kyler Murray was huge. I don't think, speaking of being comfortable, I don't think Kyler Murray was comfortable at all with the way.
After the second quarter, you're right. No. He couldn't run around anymore.
He could not run around. Quarterbacks, they got to be challenged too. This little flick of the pass that all of them are doing to get rid of the football, I get it, take the intentional grounding and all that type of stuff and not take the hit, but those are fumbles. It happened more than just in the Arizona game yesterday, though, too.
Cam did it in Houston.
Yeah, like those, y'all got to take the hit is what I'm thinking.
I did say, too, on Titans Radio, the thing that's impressive watching Kyler Murray in person from field level, he hides the ball so low when he's in a play action pass. Like he is faking the handoff, and you've got Johnny Hecker on the sideline yelling, pass, pass, because you can't tell. I mean, he literally puts the ball like behind his leg and then just pops out of there and scurries over and either throws it or runs for a first down. I understand the draw. I know he wasn't perfect and wasn't really up to it in the second half, but my goodness, he was he was cooking in the first quarter.
Yeah, he was. He absolutely.
Let's go to the phones. Matt is in Mount Juliet up next. Hey, Matt.
Morning, Matt.
Hey, morning. Well, I'm going to start off, Ramon, like you said, with the good. And then you're going to get to the bad. I can't help it. But the good is that these professionals got to win. First time in 10 games that they got to win. And as a competitor, you need that. You need that boost so you can move forward. It makes the whole week and getting to doing the weight room and the film study. It just makes it easier. It makes it on the body, on the mind. But we all have to agree that the Titans did not win that game. The Cardinals.
Oh, come on, Matt. Come on.
The Cardinals.
Let me hear Matt. Let me hear it.
It was 21-6, and the guy, if you turn around and he crossed the end zone for a touchdown, the game's over. The game is over. And then you get hit in the face mask. That's more points. That is not on the board. You have to do a better job in the NFL to compete in the first quarter, the second quarter, the third quarter, and the fourth. You have to.
But, Matt, they did a better job by making less mistakes like that, right? That's what it takes to win a football game.
All right, that's fine. You're going to have that. But as you said, that next gen stat, that 1% of chance to win, that is not sustainable in the NFL to do that every week.
But it was this week, though. You're right, Matt.
Okay.
You're right.
Okay.
Every week is not sustainable. I 100% agree with it. But we're talking about a 1-to-1 matchup right here where that team who had a big old crease and a big lead, right, Matt? Like, they coughed it up.
You're right.
Which one is worse? Is it worse that they coughed it up? At the Titans didn't see themselves out of that game because you just mentioned it, like the weight room gonna feel a whole lot better this week because of how they finished, right? I agree with you. That's not how you want to live as a pro.
Again, this is what the Titans need so they can move forward.
Yeah.
But to excuse what they've done for 3 quarters in pros, again, the Cardinals gave that away. They didn't. The Titans, at no way, shape, or form, won that game.
I think they took it, though.
Matt, they still had to go on a 2-minute drive in the fourth quarter to go win it. And they still had to make a field goal. They still had to go do a lot of things. Like the Broncos gave the Titans a game in week 1, but they didn't take it, did they?
You had a team that was trying to play prevent defense. The coverage was terrible. Now, understand that the Titans had to come and they had to throw the ball, they had to catch it, they had to score. Yes, they did that. What I'm saying is, let's not minimize that the Cardinals lost this game.
Thank you, Matt. Appreciate the call. We got to keep it moving.
Man, I like this
no
type
one's
of
minimizing
conversation.
that, but let's be honest. The Titans have been given games in the past and didn't take them and win them. The Titans were given a game in Denver and did not go take it because of the own mistakes that they make. What is General Nealon's maxim, Ramon, that reigns true most of the time? The team that makes the fewest mistakes will win. It is significant that the Titans made less critical mistakes than a football team on the road. That's all I'm saying. No one's minimizing the fact that Arizona made some critical errors, but you made less critical errors. That's a win.
Yeah.
Just take it.
And
Take it and run with it.
You look at the left column or the right column. You want to be in that left W column, Matt. Is essentially what we're getting at.
615-737-1045. We'll get to Liam and Noah up next. You can join us at 615-737-1045 as Reaction Monday continues next.
Fall in Middle Tennessee, I love it. I'm gonna be real with y'all, man. Cooler weather, football, family time. I love it. You can sit out on your back porch and enjoy yourself because you're not sweating and you got enough time to light a fire if you want to. But you know who else loves it? Pests, stink bugs, Asian lady beetles, mice, even termite. They don't slow down just because it's fall. And that's why I trust All American Pest Control. Their Complete Care Max program provides maximum protection season after season with one simple plan, man. And here's the thing. It's just a peace of mind more than anything every time with them. Call All American Pest Control or visit their website at yuckbugs.com. That's yuckbugs.com. And make sure you tell them Ramon sent you.
Reaction Monday, a Victory Monday edition of Ramon and Will, fueled by Scooters Coffee. Locally owned near you in Rivergate, Smyrna, Brentwood, White House, or Mount Juliet. Amazing people, amazing drinks, amazingly fast, wide open on the phones at 615-737-1045. Let's get back to them. Liam is in Hendersonville. Up next. What's up, Liam?
Morning, Liam.
Hey, man, so I just wanted to talk about the offensive line. This is one of the weeks where I think they really, really performed well. Looking at the playback, I think really one of those two sacks were really on Cam Ward, were really the receivers not getting open, honestly. So they played really well, and it's allowed TP to be close to 5 yards a rush, at least for the last couple of games. So shout out to the O-line. They've been balling.
No doubt.
Liam.
I think like directly, one of those sacks was on Tajay Spears. Tajay missed his assignment. The offensive line was sliding right. He's supposed to go left, and he missed the edge blitzer right there.
On fourth
the way
down at the end of the first half?
Yeah, that's
Fourth
on
and 10.
Tajay, in my personal opinion.
Sure. Yeah, Cam stepped up in the pocket on one that was kind of his coverage sack, and then that was the other one. So those are the two sacks you take in the game. This was the kind of performance from the offensive line we hoped we would get a lot more of this season, Ramon. And we spoke about kind of being won over on drafting Cam Ward. It was with the contingency that you had a line that could protect him and keep him from making big mistakes. This is what it looks like when Cam Ward has protection up front.
Oh, give him the ability, like you said, and what I also thought was this too. He stayed in the pocket a little bit more with his eyes down the field because of that too. Like it wasn't the side to side stuff. Seems like he was really working on it because he almost bailed. I feel like in the fourth quarter, and he chucked it away.
That way, he almost hit me. It was right at Aditi Kinkawala, who was standing right next to me. I was standing right next to her. But for sure, it felt like you could see Cam down there finally just look around and say, oh, I have time to go through my reads. Like I have time to find Chig Okonkwo and find Gunnar Helm and check it down to Tony Pollard. That was the thing, too. I mean, the first two plays of the game-winning drive were checkdowns to Tony.
Yep.
Tony, who gets out of bounds on the first play, which was critical.
It was.
And then it puts him in third and manageable. And then you find, tight end for a first down. And now you get the first down. Now you can start to move a little bit in that drive and feel confident. And, boy, I mean, that was the big difference. I think you're 100% right. The ability to stand in there and check it down to somebody when you don't have something deep, then those defenders started to creep up a little bit. Then you have something deep.
Yep.
And then you throw it to Calvin Ridley for 38 yards to set yourself up in field goal range. Let's go to Noah up next. What's up, Noah?
What up, Noah?
I got you. How y'all doing?
Good morning.
Doing good. I am still riding that high from yesterday. That was incredible to see. Now I do want to talk about some of the good, some of the bad. Some of the bad, to Matt's point, yes, we fell down. We had a really poor chance of winning that game. Yes, our offense did look pretty poor during the first half. Some critical drops there. And, we were down by 21. But what Matt was not saying is that, our team, they kept their composure. We kept fighting. That second half, we started making those catches, Cam Ward making those throws. Our own line throughout the game looked incredible. Only 10 pressures, like 2 sacks, something like that.
Yep.
D-line looking great. Defense was great. I just, I'm very, very excited for the future of this team. I think right now is a great time to become a Titans fan. I'm going to be honest.
No doubt.
Thank you, Noah. Appreciate the call.
Noah buying a little bit more right now. It's low still. Noah's trying to cash in for later.
I did think it was interesting just being on the sideline and watching a lot of the interactions and the way guys were working through this game. Even now 21-3, Ramon, I didn't feel like the offense was overly dejected or overly negative. I mean, there was frustration for sure. And really, there was more frustration, I think, in the third quarter with some of the 3 and outs. But Tony Pollard, after his fumble, went up to every single member of the offensive line and shook their hand and said, "My bad."
Just crazy.
Tajay Spears is one of the most just positive people in life. And I think getting him back with a helmet on and in the football game, I think has a positive influence down there. And he's been with the team and he's been traveling even while he's been hurt. But the spark to this game was the fumble out of the back of the end zone. And I know that L'Jarius Sneed didn't get a hand on that football, but they were so happy with him in just running down there and finishing that play.
He needed it.
For anyone who has called in or tweeted or commented in the FNN Bank chat about, this locker room has given up on Brian Callahan. Do you want tangible evidence that that's not true? There you go. Sprinting behind a running back who is gone the second he gets past the line of scrimmage to try to make a play. Just make a play. Yeah. That is the best example we can give you that this team has not quit. They may not have a whole lot of depth. They may be lacking a lot of experience at critical positions and make some rookie mistakes, but they have not quit. And I thought yesterday was the best possible example fans can get because you guys aren't in there. I get that it's hard to know without being around the team the way we are, but I'm telling you, this football team has not quit, and they deserve credit for that. And Brian Callahan and his staff deserve credit for that on Sunday in Phoenix. 615-737-1045 is our number. We will begin with Wesley to begin hour 2. Cam Ward made a little bit of history yesterday. The first quarterback to do something since 2019. We'll tell you what that is coming up next.
It's Ramon and Will here for Window Nation. Y'all, October is here, man, and so is the return of chilly air seeping into your home. That's if you have old, stuck, or cracked windows. Y'all know how annoying that can get, man. You can eliminate annoying drafts once and for all with their top quality replacement windows at Window Nation. Will and I both agree. These are some of the best windows that you could have in your house, period. It doesn't matter if the builder put them in or you're replacing them. But here's the thing. Window Nation, they also knows that at replacing windows, it can be a little bit of an investment, Will.
And they give you the best deal on the market, don't they? Make no payments for 2 years, no monthly payments, no down payment, and no interest until 2027. That's a big deal with the holidays coming up. But this month, Ramon, when you buy 2 windows from Window Nation, you'll get 2 for free. There's no limit to how many windows you replace, and your total price includes 1 day installation. You got to check them out online at windownation.com, or you can call them at 866-90Nation. Schedule a fast free estimate now with the pros at Window Nation online at windownation.com.
7 o'clock on the dot. Good morning from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. I'm Jackson Williams. The Titans are finally in the win column for 2025 as they head to Arizona and take down the Cardinals on this last-second field goal from Joey Sly.
Here we go. Cox snaps it back. Sly lets it fly. Bullseye! Hey, Nashville! That sounds like a winner!
Titans improved to 1-4 on the season. We'll head to Vegas next week to take on the also 1-4 Raiders. You can catch that game right here on The Zone next Sunday. Sunday Night Football last night as the Patriots hand the Bills their first loss of the season by a score of 23-20. Pats quarterback Drake May was 22 of 30 for 273 yards in the win. Patriots improved to 3-2 on the season, and they travel to Nashville later this month to take on the Titans. For your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Seven a.m. and hour number 2 of your Reaction Monday, that today is a Victory Monday. If you were a Tennessee Titans fan, if you're an Arizona Cardinals fan, you've come to the wrong place for a Victory Monday this morning. 615-737-1045, our number. He is Vol for Life and Vol Network analyst Ramon Foster. Jackson Williams making our show happen this morning, filling in for Justin. I'm Will Bowling. The Tennessee Titans did something that no team has done since 2019, Ramon, yesterday. This from Jim Wyatt. With Cam Ward, the Titans became the first team to overcome a deficit of at least 18 points and win with a starting rookie quarterback since the New York Giants in 2019 with Daniel Jones as their rookie starting quarterback. Cam Ward turned it on at the right time yesterday.
Yes, he did, and it looked good, man. It had flow with it. One thing that I enjoyed about it was watching in sports, like it's super unique, man. When momentum shifts, to see the other team kind of walking slow, harder on the ground and head down and stuff like that. You saw all of that happening, man. When you see a defensive player, especially on offense, throw their arms up at their teammates for allowing plays that they've allowed the entire game, but it hits a little bit harder right now. That is a beautiful sight to see as an offensive player, man. And Cam had a moment. I think looking at what his rookie career has been so far in the first 5 games, that was his coming out moment, I feel like, more than anything. The connections that he had. And also this, too. Like, I know we're going to have people call about, well, they gave the game away. Like, to come back, that's the reason you love guys like Peyton Manning, Tom Brady. You know, these quarterback cowboys, man, that play this style that can help will a win to you. That was this moment right here.
I just don't want to hear this morning that the Titans were just given a game. Like, oh, they didn't go win it. The Cardinals just gave it to them. There was nothing Are you kidding me? That's loser mentality.
Big time.
I'm not going to call any of you losers as people, but that is a loser mentality that I want to hear nothing of this morning. How many times has this football team or many others been given games and not taken them and made them into wins? Mm-hmm. It happened in week 1. The Titans went to Denver, and Bo Nix handed them the football game, and they didn't take it. They still found a way to lose. Finding a way to win, especially on the road in the National Football League, is something you never take for granted.
It's an art.
I don't want to hear it, because after the fumble that Arizona had through the back of the end zone, think of all the things you still had to do right to go win the football game and all the other things you still had to overcome. Not to mention, the defense did not give up a point after the start of the second quarter. Yes, I know that one of those plays was fumbled through the back of the end zone and should have been a touchdown if you're thinking with your brain and not, other parts of your body, if you're Amari DiMercado. But still, you had to go make plays to take advantage of the gift that you were given. And time again, we've seen this team not do that. Finding a way to win is a step in the right direction no matter how you do it.
It is. I'm looking at last year's record just to see. It was week 6 Colts here in Nashville. Like, you had them 17-7, end up losing at the end of it 20-17. Like, those are the types of situations that you've dealt with before at home, or your team can't hold on to situations like that, man. Or Jacksonville, like, look at last year's, hey, you should have won moments. Jacksonville, 10-6. Like, this is the start of, like, when we speak about, like, the culture, mentality of a locker room, these types of moments right here give you that extra step, that extra push to know that you're not out of games. That's the difference right there, because the margin of, like, teams being good and teams being bad in the NFL is amongst the starters is tighter than you think. It's a matter of showing it and having the mindset as a team. Well, some people live like this. A win is a win is a win.
You came from an organization that routinely, for 11 years you were there, and still under the same head coach, Mike Tomlin, just finds ways to win.
You were never out of it.
Doesn't always have to be pretty.
And
he's got a Super Bowl ring to show for it. I'm not saying this staff and this team is going to get a Super Bowl ring, but it's okay to live this way every now and then.
Yeah, and I can say this, it sucks living this way.
It does.
It does. It does.
But for today, for 1 week, it was enough, and that's what matters.
Yep.
Let's go back to the phones. Johnny is in White House up next. What's up, Johnny?
Hey, good morning, guys. Appreciate taking my call. Hey, this is for the recliner coach, Matt, who called in earlier about the Cardinals losing the game. Hey, listen, just what you said a second ago. The Titans made plays. They played amazing defense in the second half. They gave themselves a chance since the Denver game, exactly what you said. But look, Coach Matt, I know this is common sense. The Titans had more points than the Cardinals at the end of the game, so by rule, that means we win. But, hey, I want to leave on a funny note here, and I think this would be absolutely hilarious in this call. In the words of the great former Cardinals Dennis Green, the Titans who weren't who we thought they were, and we let them off the hook. Y'all have a great day, guys. Love you guys.
Thank you, Johnny. Appreciate you, man.
Matt, what's wrong with you,
and
man?
we love Matt as well. Matt is a regular caller, too.
He is, Matt. He called you coach. He's coach. You called back in from here on out, Matt. You're Coach Matt.
Coach Matt, that's right.
Coach Matt.
Let's go to Joe up next. What's up, Joe?
Hey, man, I just want to concur that everything you said right before the break, Will, was right on, Bubba. Also, those of us who are looking from the outside in don't know what's happening in the locker room like Mr. Ramon can see it there from the past experiences. So, once again, congratulations to the Titans. But my one deal is this. I've noticed that Cam, whenever he's in shotgun, his right front leg is up toward the line. And whenever he has to make a move, he has to move backwards one step instead of just being ready to throw the ball at that point. It's just a possible tripping over a blade of grass and you're down you're down. Lots of down. So, anyway, that's my thing. Every time I see it now, I can't get it out of my head.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's a little rookie thing, and
it is.
Y'all take care. Appreciate everything.
Thank you, Joe.
What's crazy, Joe, you'll see that, and that'll be something that they kind of break down in the offseason, try to fix it, and try to find ways to neutralize that being a thing for them. You ain't wrong in that, Big Joe.
That was something that John Gruden commented on when the Titans were at joint practices in Tampa. And he was like, why is he doing that? Mm-hmm. And, just one of those things. Brian Callahan mentioned footwork last week, like a golf swing.
Yeah.
And something that all quarterbacks of all ages not struggle with, but are just constantly tinkering with. And I think we'll be seeing Cam Ward, Ramon, in 3 or 4 years in a side-by-side picture or video of the way he is throwing right now. He'll probably look a lot different. But that's something that takes a couple of years to coach out of a player.
It is. You got to retrain yourself, Bubba.
Mm-hmm. Let's go to Andy in Clarksville up next. What's up, Andy? Yeah, I did.
I may be stuck in traffic, but it's a beautiful day. It may be a little gray in the sky, but it's sunny in my heart because the Titans won. They won. They didn't get gifted the game. They won the game. The defense was awesome. They gave the rest of the team the opportunity to win the game. And I was just enjoying really paying attention on the defensive side of the ball, paying attention to Jeff and just watching him work. And, hey, it's rare, so enjoy that. If we don't win a lot more games, enjoy the little things, like Jeff having an awesome year. And, hey, it's the start of something. You may not have noticed this as you were at the game, but I was watching Red Zone before, and a lot of teams that have been struggling this week had breakouts. And so I think it's that week 5, 6 era that teams that had been struggling had some, rookies that finally gotten some experience, got some confidence. It starts to click. I'm hoping that's what we started to see because, frankly, our rookies didn't have a lot of mistakes. And they're really starting to pick it up. And it encourages me. We've got a chance to go in the Raiders who are floundering. Hey, I'm happier to be at 1-4 feeling like a Titans fan than to be at 1-4 and being a Ravens fan.
Thank you, Andy.
Andy, what is wrong with you?
Appreciate the call. Thank you.
A full stray. Some people, they just not getting up over on the East Coast.
Titans and Ravens do have the same record this morning. That is something that is just factually correct.
That is factually correct.
Robert Walsh is not going to speak to me this morning if he is listening right now, but I doubt that he is.
Steer clear of the Burt this morning. I'm so serious. They got drug.
To the point about Jeffrey Simmons, he is legitimately playing at a defensive player of the year candidate level, Ramon.
Easily.
And if Jeffrey Simmons is not if let's be fair, if he continues like this, and this is the Jeff we get all the way through week 18, Jeffrey Simmons is a first-team All-Pro player, and it's not even a discussion. If he's not first-team All-Pro this year the way that he's playing, if this continues, then AP voters are just admitting, like they do with college football, that they're just not watching the games. I mean, truly. Jeffrey Simmons in this game, according to Next Gen Stats and NFL Pro, generated a season-high 6 pressures and a sack and a half on 35 pass rushes. It's a 17% pressure rate. This was also the lowest double-team rate that Jeff had all season. Double-teamed on 37.1% of his pass rushes. He capitalized, recording 5 quick pressures, tied for a career high. He has been outstanding. Totally outstanding.
I don't even understand how they're not blocking him. Like, how are you not committing? Like, I know Jeff's powerful. I know he's got speed. I know he's made himself smaller. I'm thinking to myself, like, the way he's beating them is simply just kicking their butts, though, too. Like, that's the other part. Like, he's not even having to use
it's
a move.
Speed, it's power.
It's speed and power.
I mean, it's everything.
And he's hitting them on the edge, and for some reason, they can't get their foot to stop him. Like, there's a power foot. Like, I will have to explain this, but they're not even. He's hitting the edge so fast on them that he's breaking down their outside leg. And I'm thinking to myself, you can't push him by. Like,
he's having a Chris Jones like season this year.
He's taking a step that I don't even know if he knew he had that in him. Like, I feel like he does, and I say that, but like he hadn't seen this version of himself is what I mean.
I'm totally with you. 3.5 sacks in 5 games. He set the standard of having a 10-sack season, Ramon. He wanted a double-digit sack season. He's on pace for 12 if this continues. And it's a lot more than just the sacks, too. I mean, it's the run stops. It's, the question we asked before the season, if he is a little bit lighter and getting upfield more, does that hurt this defense of the run game? Not even a little bit.
Not even. He had 8 tackles yesterday.
Comment on YouTube says Jeff is trying to get traded. He's not. Jeff's not trying to get traded. This is the goal that Jeffrey Simmons set for himself to evolve as a pass rusher and evolve as a player this offseason, and it worked. This is what the Tennessee Titans want their big men also to look like, Ramon. Leaner, faster, but still as powerful and as strong to make plays, but do so in a way that keeps them healthy and keeps them the best versions of themselves week 1 through 18. There is nothing to suggest that Jeffrey Simmons wants out. There's a lot to suggest that Jeffrey Simmons has taken ownership of this team and is playing inspired football.
His quick stat line, if you didn't see it, 8 total tackles, 6 solo, a sack and a half. He took one from Arden Key, had a tackle for loss and 2 quarterback hits. That right there, if y'all ain't voting Jeff to the Pro Bowl just off of that, something wrong with y'all. Him and Chimray.
First team All-Pro level, I think, for both those guys.
Yup.
65-yard kick return for Chim DK in this game, too.
Chim minimum Pro Bowl at this point.
615-737-1045. What changed for Cam Ward in the second half? What did this staff do? What did Cam Ward do to finally click on offense? And is it sustainable? You hear from Brian Callahan and Cam Ward on that coming up next.
It's Ramon Foster for Jewel Roofing and Exteriors, man. I'm here to tell you about my friends at Jewel, man. They are a trusted, family-owned Middle Tennessee company that's been serving from Clarksville to Murfreesboro. Get this, for over 25 years, man. They stand out by building relationships and earning trust through referrals. Never through high-pressure tactics of saying, hey, you need. Absolutely not. They don't door knock or storm chase either. Y'all know when we have those storms in the city, you'll see signs everywhere. People knock on your door telling you that you need a new roof without even being on top of your roof. Well, guess what? For a roofer you can call, you can reach out to Jewel Roofing and Exteriors, man, and they will hop on your roof just to let you know, hey, you do need this or you don't. If you don't, guess what they say? Well, you'll come back to us a year, 10 years from now, but they want to build that trust in you because they always want to do good, honest work. You can call them at 615-868-9999 or visit jewelroofing.com. That's Jewel Roofing with 2 L's.com.
What's up? It's Will Bowling. Are you having home electrical issues? Well, available 24/7, the Lee Company team handles electrical problems and more in short order. From routine repairs on outlets and switches to fixture upgrades and generator installations, Lee Company's award-winning electricians will get the job done right the first time. You can contact Lee Company for all your home electrical needs at leecompany.com, and you can just give them your to-do list because Lee Company takes care of everything. Open 24/7, 365 with 14 community locations in Tennessee, Kentucky, and Alabama. Put the very best players in your team today. Call Lee Company at 615-567-1000, or you can head online to leecompany.com to schedule with an experienced electrician. That's 615-567-1000, online at leecompany.com. Lee Company, all you need. Ramona Will on 104.5 The Zone, fueled by Scooter's Coffee. Glad you're with us. Hope you stick around with us. Here on a Reaction Monday, Cody Barton, Titans linebacker, going to join us at 9:30 this morning. Your phone calls throughout the day, some college football thoughts in hour 3 as well. 615-737-1045. So yesterday, Cam Ward of the Titans clicked on offense in the second half. And Cam Ward threw for over 200 yards in the second after getting to the end of the first half, Ramon, at 5 of 16 for 58 yards and a quarterback rating of 43.2. What changed in this offense? Why did things look so much better, in your opinion, in the second half versus the first half?
I think guys just started catching the football. I think Cam settled down. Also, his it almost feels like it was a back against the wall situation for him. Like you felt the game being in the grasp of him. One score would change a lot for him. They finally got him. And he went to his short targets. His short targets to me were Chig Okonkwo and Gunnar Helm. Those dudes, I think, helped jumpstart it. And he found Calvin Ridley. But it started, again, as we spoke about too, they hadn't scored since the first half of the game. At some point, it had to have cracked with him, and it came through the idea that Cam found his guys that simply just, as we spoke about before, putting the ball in their hand quickly and letting them get upfield. Once he figured that out and got to the line of scrimmage and pressed them, there was no coming back from it, I felt like. And you saw the body language again. You saw the body language of the Arizona Cardinals shift and change a little bit too. Players can smell that as moonshine, like to say blood in the water. Like you see that. You watch them get a little frantic. And I thought it honestly starting with Cam settling down. He wasn't trying to make the big play. He just started to make a play. That's what I saw more. The running game wasn't impressive, wasn't crazy. But I felt like when you saw Cam throw the ball away 1 or 2 times in the pocket, that's when he started to understand, all right, let me just play ball. That's the way that's the way it looked to me on television yesterday.
I thought 3 things contributed to the offense clicking. And the first one, I'll go back to what Mike Borgonzi told me before the game for Titans Radio and Farm Bureau Health Plan's Titans Countdown. Trusting his eyes. Yeah. That's the step that the organization wanted to see Cam Ward take yesterday, and it took him 3 quarters, but he took it in the 4th quarter. Why was he able to trust his eyes and find second and third options on each play? Because pass protection, 1, and 2, guys caught the ball. Like you said, I just think, though, that's like a third of this equation. Because Cam not only had time to get guys the ball, that way they could catch it, Cam also had time to go to his second and third and check downs. And I think we learned, Ramon, that this team has some athletes that can make plays once they get the ball in their hands. Yeah. I think Chig Okonkwo is quietly having a terrific season.
He really is.
At tight end for the Titans. Gunnar Helm is earning more responsibilities. We've spoken off air about this a lot. There are a lot of things I think they have ready for Gunnar Helm to help them with as a big target in the red zone. And when the field gets condensed, they just haven't been in the red zone. And then look what happened yesterday. They get in the 30-yard line. There's Gunnar Helm, 1st and goal, down to the 1. That's the kind of stuff that he can give to them. But they have to situationally be in the position for Gunnar Helm's plays to be on the play sheet. I thought that this offense clicked predominantly because Cam Ward started playing professional football. The first 3 quarters were Cam Ward college football. Yeah. And for all the conversation we've had, and some of it fair, about how Cam is too good for the Titans or too good for this offense, yesterday, Cam Ward was holding this offense back for 3 quarters. It's not overly critical to say that. Cam Ward was not good for the first half of this football game. He was inaccurate. He wasn't decisive. He was taking hits. But Cam Ward drug himself out of that and dragged the offense with him to a win when he was given the opportunity to. That is significant that a young quarterback was able to put a bad half behind him so quickly and lead his team to victory, because his short memory is one of the biggest reasons, Ramon, why the Titans are 1-4 today and not 0-5.
You know what? Something to be overlooked. It's a smarter thing that happened as far as game plan yesterday too. Is when you started to put Arizona on the heels a little bit, having them backing up into the wall, they continue to go to the guys that were making plays for them. They went back to Chig. Gunnerham, you mentioned, caught the ball on the sideline, get him to the 1. Guess what they did the exact the very next play? They threw it to him again and got a DPI in the end zone, moved the ball closer, right? And then you run it in. And then, of course, the guy got to show up at some point. You continue to go back to Calvin. Calvin's had his moment. Calvin Ridley's had his moments. But when you got to have it, you got a guy like him that need to bring it in, and Cam wasn't afraid to go back to him. Bo wasn't afraid to scheme that pass up to her. He had that transcontinental, as Coach Mack liked to say, across the field for him to catch it on the sideline. These are the things that happened yesterday, too, that, look, when you have a hot hand, I don't care if it's the running back, the tight ends, or wide receivers, or, heck, even you, the quarterback, you got to continue to feed those guys. I've been around those dudes before. When you see them, that switch flips on and nobody can block them or cover them, I was glad to see whether it was Bo or whether it was Cam, continually going back to the dudes that made plays.
Let's go back to the phones where Mike is up next this morning. What's up, Mike? There he is.
Wow.
Yeah, we got one. And I'm very, very happy for it. Hey, man, but real quick, man, y'all suck, man. Like, all these years, y'all still, y'all suck. Yeah, because all these years, and y'all still do the same thing. Y'all talk about what I'm going to say before y'all put me on. Why do y'all do this?
My bad, Mike.
Nah, you good, baby. You good. But yeah, man, that was the whole thing. I noticed. I think Bo was trying to get some rhythm, but the dropping of the balls, man, we couldn't get no rhythm. Will, I disagree with you. I think Cam was trying to do everything right, but every time you put it out there, you get drop balls. And it was crazy because it was so many guys that was just dropping them. It's reaching their hands. And I know I'm tired of hearing this excuse. He got to take less zip off. He got to take less zip off. Man, bump that. They got to hold on to that boy. How many quarterbacks do we hear? He'll break your fingers. You got to hurry up. You got to have strong hands to catch his. Well, now we finally got a quarterback like that. Y'all want to say, oh, no, he got to take less zip off. No, them boys better. I don't know what type of hand workout you got to do. I don't know. Hold bricks for 48 hours. I don't know. I don't know. Figure it out and figure out how to hold on to them balls and stop dropping them. Oh. That's what she said. Other thing real quick, it's been a lot of talk about trading Big Jeff. I hope yesterday we can finally see the reason not to trade our captain. I hope that we can find if this is the Marvel universe, he's Captain America, okay? He's our Captain Titan. I don't care what nobody says. You do not trade him, man. He is Sneed and what he did just because he's looking at Big Jeff play a whole game and play his heart out. Them guys playing so hard, they're looking at one man playing his freaking heart out. And that's our captain. Captain Titan is what I'm calling him. And go ahead and let Cam be arm man, AR man, okay? And we got a hell of a dynamic for our future. So let's capitalize on this. The wide receivers, go do your exercises and learn how to hold on to them balls.
Them gripples.
Love y'all.
Get them gripples together, Mike.
Thank you, Mike.
I get them gripples together. You know Mike is very biblical these days, so he ain't want to say them balls like that, okay? Like, he's being as clean.
All right, okay. All right. We had enough pauses. We don't need any more of them on purpose.
What?
Got you wheezing this morning. You need to act right. One of these days, you're gonna stop trying to squeeze something in your hand too. You're. I don't like the hand gesture you're making when you're talking about receivers grabbing balls. All right. We're gonna grow up here. We're gonna grow up. We're gonna be radio professionals this morning. The Titans won a football game. We're gonna act like it.
Gotta get them grippers together.
You're in timeout is what you are. I think the point Mike makes is correct though. I never disagreed with that, to be fair. Receivers got to catch the football. That was one of the three reasons why I thought the offense clicked late in the game. It was better protection. Cam trusted what he saw and threw some checkdowns, and receivers caught them when they were thrown.
We brought that up though too. Like, it comes out hot, but like the Tyler Lockett drop, where he was, could have been a first. I think it was the first down at the point. Like, it was a little bit behind and hot. But
it was definitely behind him.
You a pro.
The bigger issue when I talk about Cam not playing well was the inaccurate passes downfield and 2 passes for Chim DK that were not catchable. That's more what I'm speaking about. Yeah. And a play that Teron Davenport mapped out where he's got Chigakonkwo open for a decent game, and then he checks it down. It just, there wasn't any cohesion. There wasn't consistency from the quarterback position in the first 3 quarters of this game. Really, for 2.5. I mean, he was starting to get there a little bit more, I guess, into the third. But from what I saw, there were missed opportunities down the field that were then corrected in a big way. I mean, the 45-yard gain and the 38-yard gain to Calvin Ridley, Ramon, is what we've seen this team do in camp that made all of us so optimistic about Calvin coming into the season.
It was.
We finally saw it.
However, and to be fair, they're just now getting past the first quarter. With the 17th game, I guess we'll skew the line a little bit. Like, this is the 5th game of 17.
That's right.
They're right at the quarter of where you needed a situation like this. Now, you know the mindset is do it again and then again and again. Like, we've been there.
I'm not the only one saying that Cam Ward struggled in the first half of this game yesterday. Brian Callahan said it post-game as well.
Yeah. I think he just had some struggles early and fought his way through it, which I think is what you have to do as a quarterback in this league. Is not every quarter is going to go your way and every half's going to go your way. And he just got reminded at halftime, just put your eyes where they're supposed to be and make the throws. And that's what he did in the second half. And that was he worked his way out of a particularly slow start of the game and made the plays when we needed it.
How important moment was that for Calvin in particular?
I mean, huge for Calvin, right? Everything that we've been hoping to see from him, making those plays in the critical moments when we need them to be made, and to see him make that catch and put us in really close range for the field goal to win the game was a huge, huge play. I mean, you can't undersell how big of a play that was. It was a high degree of difficulty on the catch, and it was great to see.
That's Brian Callahan speaking to the media yesterday. I think it's a big deal how short Cam Ward's memory is. We've known this about him ever since we've kind of gotten to know him through the draft process. And voice of the Titans, Taylor Zarzour, who had a great call yesterday, by the way, if you didn't hear it, always makes the point that he's kind of like Scotty Scheffler. When he makes a bogey, he doesn't go out and make a double bogey. On the next hole, he makes birdie. Then he makes eagle. Then he might make another bogey again later, but he's not going to take the 16th hole with him to 17. This was the best example for Cam Ward of that yesterday.
Listen, I've been around quarterbacks like that before, not just to want to play football, like guys who are backers, like Byron Leftwich is that way. Michael Vick was that way. Like, okay, you had a bad play. So what? Move on. Like, if you stay in those moments, it carries. Your team also feels that too. Like, the reason like Cam has a lot of this fan base and his teammates behind him too is simply because of what you just said, though, Will. Like, this franchise needs somebody else besides Jeff to do the things that show you what a pro is supposed to be. Like, that to me signifies a guy that understands, just give me a little bit more help.
Yeah.
Give me more time to grow, and you can turn this thing around. But, again, it's the do it again factor, always.
James is up next, 615-737-1045. Good morning, James.
Good morning, fellas, and happy Motivated Monday to you all.
Yes, sir. You as well.
Hey, I just had a question. Now that Callahan has relieved himself of the last 2 games of play calling, I want to see what are your comparisons as far as grades to offensive play calling. And then it also seems like they must have listened to Cam's post-game speech last game at halftime yesterday to get a little spark under their belt. So just curious about the play calling moving forward. Now, Hank, I'm listening.
Thank you, James. What do you think?
The play calling, last week for Bo wasn't great, right? But here's the other thing, though, too, James. Like, looking at the differences in, like, the first half and the second half from from yesterday, I do think Bo had a plan in place where he wanted to keep the ball marching. I do feel like we saw that a little bit more to where Callahan could just, delegate the team. I did feel like looking at Bo Hardiger on the sideline, he knew where he was going to next. Last week, his first time calling it, I didn't think it was that great. Yesterday, for a quarter and a half, that looked like the style of ball that I think people envision Cam to play, and I don't know if Callahan's called it enough like that, but all of that starts with, and I say it again, and you've said it, though, too, it starts with them catching the ball.
Yeah, it does. It does.
I want to be more scientific on you and give you all these next-gen stats on it, but it legitimately started with them catching the football and moving forward. The drops that they had in the first half, like even Gunner Catching one on the sideline and just slips out of his hand because he's trying to turn too fast. That's a positive play right there where you got to be able to have that catch to give your quarterback confidence to come back to you again. That last third quarter, fourth quarter was, I thought, what it would look like. To your point a second ago, that's what we saw in training camp when they will walk it down on the defense in 2 minutes.
Tempo definitely helps Cam Ward, too.
And it's not fast.
You saw more of that the whole fourth quarter. It wasn't just the last drive. And I think that's something, Ramon, we've spoken about for weeks in talking about how can you get this offense to click? Tempo. Cam Ward clearly feels comfortable when you speed the process up a little bit, and I think take a little bit of the thinking out of it. 100%. Let's go next to Tim on the phones. So I got a couple lines open, 615-737-1045. What's up, Tim?
Good morning, guys.
Morning.
First off, I want to, man, these Titan haters, man, they're everywhere. Talking about we was gifted that game. What about that Joey Slide field goal miss that they capitalized on? What about that Tony Pollard fumble that they scored on? Come on, man. Y'all trash. We're talking about the damn Titans, man. Tighten up, man.
There it is.
Thank you, Tim.
There you go, Tim.
Appreciate the call.
Tim ain't for the foolishness. See, it's good to have Tim call in on days like this because when it's bad, we don't hear from guys. Like, Tim is still on the backside like a Titans fan. I feel like more than anything. When it's bad, boy, y'all overshadow the good in the worst way.
Bam is up next, 615-737-1045. What's up, Bam?
Yeah, what's good, fam?
What's going on?
Morning, Bam.
It's a beautiful thing to be able to call in on a Victory Monday, the first one we done had all year. I love it. I really hope that we can really put, an absolute end to this trade, Big Jeff conversation. Like, you don't let go of someone who's bringing life to your team like that. You don't let go of someone who's playing at who continues to play at a high level every week. I mean, man, we can't. That conversation needs to be dead as of today. Like, I'm not like ended. I don't care. Like, we get to the trade deadline. This man is out here putting up all-star numbers, all-pro numbers. He's playing and he's bringing the defense with him. He's bringing the intensity, week after week, and you can slowly see it starting to come out in the rest of the team. So we definitely need to kill all that, man. We definitely need to, that needs to be the end of discussion today.
So I'm trade Jeff guy. I'll admit that 100%.
Thank you, man.
And here's my reason why. When you have him giving the effort that he did and didn't get no backing from many guys, that wears you thin. That wears you down. Yesterday was the first time, Bam, in 5 games where I feel like you've seen guys exhibit the exact same effort that he has. Now, me knowing pros, it's 2 situations that have to happen. And, Will, you admitted this too last week was you either have to overpay him, and you said good, pay him, right? Or those types of guys increase their value in their stock to say, I can't do this anymore. I need Derrick Henry, right? It ain't just this. Myles Garrett was faced with it this summer. And you know what Cleveland did? We're sorry, Myles. We'll give you $40 million a year, $42 million a year. That's my reasoning and logic behind it. And yesterday, I feel like was one of the few times where you saw not just him, you saw others finally say, we got you.
I'm just tired of developing stars for other teams. I want to develop a star for this team.
I feel you.
And there's no guarantee that if you got rid of Jeffrey Simmons and traded him, that the guy you draft in that place is going to have a bigger impact on this team than Jeff is over the next 5 years and duration of a rookie contract with a first-round option.
That's very fair.
And that's where I'm at this point. The level he's playing right now, Jeffrey Simmons is almost certainly going to have a bigger impact in your team winning games over the course of a rookie contract than a guy that you would draft on that rookie contract.
There's a lot of questions in that. Absolutely.
You hear from Cam Ward coming up next. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No. I was just saying there's a lot of questions in that. But until what I felt like yesterday was for him and the guys that play along him on the defensive side of it.
It wasn't just him.
That's what I'm saying. It wasn't just him yesterday.
For sure.
Yes.
You hear from Cam Ward coming up next. His thoughts on what changed in the second half, plus your phone calls, 615-737-1045. We'll lead off with Vaughn coming up next as we wrap up hour 2 after this.
Synergex and Low T Center are the original MVPs of testosterone replacement therapy. What makes them MVPs? To start, they use pharmaceutical-grade testosterone to increase your testosterone to a level that is right just for you. They're not guessing at all with it, man. Did you know that other clinics may compound their testosterone so you don't even know what you're getting or how effective it will be? Synergex and Low T Center are the real experts that you can trust for quality care, man. Also, they are one of the only providers that accept most major insurances too, so you can get in and charge insurance for it and it's not out of pocket. Other clinics and online services charge you sky-high pricing for testing, labs, membership. It goes on. But Synergex and Low T Center make it affordable and easy for you to start your treatment, man. And we all know this too, man. Testosterone replacement, what it does for men, but you also should know this. It benefits women as well. The right women experience many of the same symptoms of men with low testosterone. It's tiredness, no energy, mood swings, low libido. So, women, you can come in and get tested also and help what finds you get back to the hormonal balance that you want to. Again, I'll say this. Just imagine how much better you'll feel when you reignite your energy. Get back to feeling like you again. You can book your appointment now at trtmvp.com. That's trtmvp.com. And I promise you'll be wishing you did it sooner. It's Ramon Foster for All-American Pest Control, man. Fall in Middle Tennessee, cooler weather, football, family time. Listen to me, I love it. There is no better time of the year than fall. But you know who else loved this season? Pests, stink bugs, Asian lady beetles, mice, even termites. They don't slow down because it's just fall. No, that's why I trust All American Pest Control. Their Complete Care Max program provides maximum protection season after season with one simple plan, man. It's a peace of mind every time. Call All American Pest Control or visit their website at yuckbugs.com. That's yuckbugs.com. And make sure you tell them that Ramon sent you.
Ramona Will, fueled by Scooters Coffee on 104.5 The Zone. Wrapping up hour 2 on this Monday morning. Stick around. Cody Barton, Titans linebackers, stopping by at 9:30. Your phone calls throughout the morning as well, 615-737-1045. Fueled by Scooters Coffee in Rivergate, Smyrna, Brentwood, White House, or Mount Juliet. Amazing people, amazing drinks, amazingly fast. Cam Ward spoke post-game yesterday, was asked, were there any major adjustments that you and the offense made at halftime or on the sideline? And Cam responded with this.
A win, especially for my first one in a game like that, it's a big-time win. But I think the biggest thing is just we got to continue to build off of it. We got to continue to attack the week the right way and try to get a win next week.
For you personally to come back when it mattered, after a bit of a tough start, come back and play the way you did, how big is that for you personally?
It's really not that big to me, honestly. I played well previously in my career. I just got to be consistent at it. I think the second half I really saw the field better in terms of just getting the ball out, letting my guys make plays. And I think Chig and Gunner, the tight ends, they did that along with the receiving corps.
Was there something that made you see the field better, like an adjustment or anything like that?
There really was an adjustment from the first half to the second half, and far what they were giving me from the coverage-wise is really me more just putting the ball in play. They give it to me now. If the corner is back, I need to put the ball in play, let them make a play.
Sorry about that. Coach said he or somebody told you at the half just to see it. Did they help you change your mindset at all at halftime with their advice?
It wasn't really changing my mindset. It was more of me actually doing it. And I've seen it the same way they see it for the past couple of games in terms of just letting my guys make plays. And I think this is actually the first time I did that and ended up paying off for it. So it's just the games you play, the more you get experience with it, the more you get to learn your guys, and that's why we were able to win this game.
That's Cam Ward speaking post-game yesterday, saying the plays were there for 4 quarters. I made them for the last 1.5.
That was as real as it get. He just had to see it and do it.
He sees the tight ends open too. It feels like the implementation of the tight ends is becoming a bigger part of this offense.
You saw those were the 2 names he first called out.
Yep.
That's why I shook my head. It's like he mentioned Chig and he mentioned Gunner right there. They've been his sure guys as of late. It was Ellick for the most part, and he had a case of the dropsies yesterday though too. But again, it's growth. I haven't just been in a rebuild like this, but I've been in a reset. It sucks being in the middle of it. It does, especially when you play weekly games and you don't see the results that you know are there in future terms. And that's just kind of what it sounds like Cam is at with the questions that he answered. He was just like, it's not a whole lot I'm not seeing. It's a matter of him trusting and believing in everything that he's practiced and delivering it. And I'll be honest with you, it's hard for a young player. I can imagine being a franchise quarterback like that to basically bow down to the teachings of your coaches. Well, I have to do this? Yes, you absolutely have to just trust yourself and just do the small things we're asking you to. He's used to, and I think it's okay at times. He's used to doing it his way. But that's not how it works in NFL. You got to walk a line a little bit more.
Let's go to Vaughn up next, 615-737-1045. What's up, Vaughn?
Not much, man. Top of the morning, fellas.
Morning.
Hey, obviously a big win for the boys yesterday. But what I really noticed and what I paid attention to was no glaring penalties. It was also good to see Coach Callahan on the sideline kind of hyping the boys up, man, on a big 3rd down stop. Again, obviously a big win, no penalties, no drive-killing penalties. I think that was good, man, for the morale of the team, man. Y'all have a good Monday.
Appreciate it, Vaughn.
Thank you, Vaughn.
I agree.
Brian got some air after the Tyler Lockett fumble touchdown, too. He got up. I was standing right behind him. I've not seen Brian Callahan like that on the sideline.
Yeah, man, as an athlete, I'm still shocked that Tyler Lockett got on that ball in the end zone.
Gosh.
Those that usually doesn't, because it's usually more defensive players right there.
Yeah, right.
And it was, but they all were trying to scoop and score the football right there. Come on, defensive players, fall on it.
Spoken like an offensive player for 11 years in the NFL.
Listen.
David is in Florida up next. What's up, David?
Yeah, good morning, fellas.
Morning.
Yeah, number one, trying to hear the game down here is so hard. I was able to see the first half, and I thought that Cam was taking a lot of chances and putting into a lot of dangerous windows, towards the end of that first half. But the question I really had with Tajay Spears actually coming back, how much of a role do you think that played in us coming back, and what was his actual numbers with him and Tony Pollard? And I'll just hang up and listen to y'all on the app. Appreciate it.
Thank you, David. Tajay Spears statistically, not a huge contribution, just 4 carries for 14 yards.
No catches.
Didn't have a catch. I do think they will get him more opportunities at the pass game. I think what they like in him is his ability to break explosive runs. Brian Callahan said that this week, and then Mike Borgonzi told me the same thing in my pregame visit with him on the field yesterday, that the second and third level explosive runs is what they feel like Tajay can give them. But beyond that, the thing that's hard to put in the stat sheet is how much he helps Tony Pollard by keeping him fresh as well. And, can you get an extra yard per carry, yard and a half per carry, or an extra explosive run or two out of Tony because he is a bit more of a full gas tank instead of running on empty by the fourth quarter. That's the value that Tajay is going to bring them. But it's going to be a process. He'll have to get back out there. He's not played football in a while, so they are very excited to have him back, though. I'll tell you that much.
But I'll say this, too, real quick before we go into it, is I thought yesterday with some of the guys that were open down the field, you see Bo Hardigree skimming guys up. Like, there were open receivers and Julius Chestnut down the seam right there from time to time, or you have Tyler Lockett coming across and nobody's around him. Like, there were moments like that yesterday, and I'm not sure if it's Arizona's defense or it's the fact that Bo Hardigree actually is finding ways to create in this offense. They just got to connect.
Brian Callahan was asked yesterday, what does this win mean for you and your staff? We'll play you what he had to say coming up next.
Honesty means everything, man, especially when you're buying a vehicle. And that's why I purchased my new Fords from Two Rivers Ford. Two Rivers Ford has real deals. And what do I mean by that, you ask? At Two Rivers Ford, the best price is clearly marked on their website or window sticker. You don't need to fill out those forms with your information to get the best price. You don't need to do anything. And unlike other dealers, Two Rivers Ford never adds on accessories or service plans in order for you to get the best deal. No, not at all. At Two Rivers Ford, the best clearly marked price is always available, always accessible, and always real. And if you want extra accessories or warranties, you can request to purchase them. Honesty is always the policy at Two Rivers Ford, which is why they're the South's most trusted Ford dealer. So for best price and a real deal, get to Two Rivers Ford in Mount Juliet. You can visit them online also at tworiversford.com or call the non-commissioned sales team at a toll-free number, 800-900-1000. And make sure you tell them that Ramon sent you.
Go with the pros. Go Dickens Turf and Landscape Supply to take care of your lawn. Like the pros as fall begins in Middle Tennessee. Will Bolding with my guy Trey Hartsook. And Trey, those weeds that might be out of control around the house, around the front lawn, what do you guys do to make sure those pesky weeds are under control?
Well, I'll tell you, man, this year has been tough. With all the rain that we've gotten, seems like all the grassy weeds have really taken it to the next level. Don't let those grassy weeds take over your lawn. At Dickens Turf and Landscape Supply, all you got to do, take a picture. Obviously, they don't look like grass. They're ugly. We don't want them. Bring in a picture of them to Dickens Turf and Landscape Supply. We can say, oh, yeah, that's crab or that's goose or whatever. And then we can give you a herbicide that you can go apply on your lawn to get rid of that. Stop in and see us. We'd love to talk to you about it. We're conveniently located all over Middle Tennessee. Got locations in Nashville, Hendersonville, Murfreesboro, Bellevue, Brentwood, Lamar, Mount Juliet, and Franklin. Opening up at 7 a.m., closing at 4:30 p.m. Monday through Friday, 8 to 12 on Saturdays. If you can't get a hold of us, check us out online, DickensSupply.com.
What's going on, 801? Good morning from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. I'm Jackson Williams. The Titans finally in the win column for 2025 as they head to Arizona and take down the Cardinals on a last-second field goal set up in part by this pass from Cam Ward to Calvin Ridley.
30 seconds left in the game. Ward throws downfield. He's got Ridley. He got it. He's out of bounds inside the 20. Yes. Cam to Calvin down to the 15-yard line. What a throw, 38 yards.
Titans improved to 1-4 on the season, and we'll head to Vegas next week to take on the also 1-4 Raiders. You can catch that game right here on The Zone next Sunday. Sunday Night Football last night as the Pats hand the Bills their first loss of the season, 23-20. Pats quarterback Drake May was 22 of 30 for 273 yards in the win. Patriots improved to 3-2 on the season. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Second half of the show and hour number 3 getting started on this Monday morning, Victory Monday. And every day on this show is fueled by Scooter's Coffee. Visit a locally owned location near you in Rivergate, Smyrna, Brentwood, White House, or Mount Juliet. Amazing people, amazing drinks, amazingly fast. Jackson Williams makes the show happen. Ramon Foster is back from a couple of days off. I'm Will Bowling. 615-737-1045 is the number. Heck of a college football weekend over the weekend. We will talk about it in 15 minutes. I am being improperly framed as a Vanderbilt fan on social media based off of one comment I made on Twitter.
You've been called Bubba and you've been called a Vandy fan. Let's go, Will.
We will dive into that coming up in 15 minutes because clearly I watched Vandy, Alabama differently than a lot of you did. And we will talk about that coming up at 8:20. Brian Callahan was asked yesterday, what does this win mean for you and your staff? 22-21 over the Arizona Cardinals, and the head coach, the Tennessee Titans, responded with this.
Yeah, I mean, it's for us just to be able to see our team come through and play that way and play with that kind of resilience and that kind of effort and make the plays needed to win the game is huge for us. You know, it's just like every loss. It's still one game. You know, it's still one game, and we got a lot of games left to play. But very, very proud of our staff. Very, very proud of the way that they've responded in the face of some adversity over the course of the early part of the season, and excited for what's to come. So we just keep trying to stack and keep moving forward. And you know, again, one win is one win, one loss is one loss, and we try to go out and win next week.
And he understands, Ramon, that one win is not just going to cut it either, right?
No, absolutely.
One win is just like one loss. It is what it is today, and now we see if we can stack a little bit.
This win just shows that, like, one, the way they won yesterday shows that they have the grit to finish. Shows them that they have an attitude for competing. I think that's what that win did. I think if you look at the fourth quarter for the offense offensively, it shows that they have a method that can work and that the plays aren't bad and that the system doesn't, is not the worst in the NFL if guys make their plays. I also think, looking at it too, Cam having the ability to be a guy to understand it's not on his shoulders. That's what yesterday did, is that you have now a method that shows how you can win football games. Now, that first half, you don't ever want that to, only have points through field goals. But you kept it close enough to where you were able to kick a field goal to win it.
No doubt.
That's what that did for you yesterday.
Let's go to Rudy up next to the phone lines. You can join us, 615-737-1045. Hey, Rudy.
Good morning, Will and Ramon.
Morning.
I think there were three things that really stood out to me, is that you had way more catches than drops. You had, and luck does play in these games, and we've had a lot of bad luck in some of our games, and no stops over stupid penalties. And what Cam said when you played his comments, just the fact that he's starting to trust in what he's seeing down the field, That's just amazing to me. And the other thing I'm going to say is I was at the NFC rally yesterday, and they are the champions. I love them. We'll appreciate that.
Absolutely.
I got to see all the players. The only thing I didn't like, well, I shouldn't say I didn't like, it was just they're playing for their national teams right now. Nahar and Schaffelberg were not there. And, I mean, those two cats in the game changed the way that game is played with NFC. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Rudy. Appreciate the call. I would have been there had I not been in Phoenix on the field with the Tennessee Titans.
Big times. U.S. Open Cup.
Yes, right.
They won this past weekend.
That's right.
Twitter was going crazy over that.
The crowd at Geodis looked awesome yesterday. A lot of folks there to see them lift the trophies. Good stuff.
Good stuff.
Let's go to Henry up next, 615-737-1045. What's up, Henry?
Morning, Henry.
You doing all right, man? Tighten up, man. I had my birthday yesterday on Saturday, and man, all I prayed for was a Titans win. There is some luck in every game, and we finally got it on our side. I do think we need to be running the ball outside more. We need to be moving the ball out more. We play the Raiders next week. They just got blown out, the same record as us, so they're coming with some fight this week. So we definitely got to bring it to them for sure.
No doubt.
Thank you, Henry.
Appreciate it, Henry.
Appreciate the call.
That is the fascinating part of it, too. How much of a step will the Titans take for a team that's going to be desperate with such a veteran quarterback as Geno Smith? You know, and a running back that you know has it if they allow him to go off from time to time like that. I didn't expect them to get rolled the way they did like that yesterday.
Ashton Genty, who are you referring to?
Yeah, Ashton Genty, who's going back to the Halloween stance.
Michael Myers, standing
Myers.
up straight in the backfield instead of crouching over.
That's that's funny right there. That's different.
Titans offensive line allowed only 10 pressures on Cam Ward's 42 dropbacks in the comeback win over the Cardinals, resulting in a 23.8% pressure rate. That is Cam's lowest of the season after allowing a 44% pressure rate in the first 4 weeks. The Cardinals pass rush recorded their lowest pressure rate of the season in this game against the Titans. Arizona's defense averaged 3.13 seconds of time to pressure, also their longest mark this season, that courtesy of Next Gen Stats. Ramon, what was working for this offensive line yesterday? Was it just winning individual matchups? Is it play calling? What did you like about the way those five played?
I thought it was individual matchups, specifically the guys up the middle. I thought the guards and center did really good. What's not being stated is the running backs and tight ends also chipped appropriately, too. They weren't knocking guys free. They weren't missing their chips whenever they came. I almost felt like watching them yesterday. It was an expectation that if you were rushing off the edge, you're going to get popped in the ribs. And that's what happened, too. So a lot of credit got to be given to the backfield. Cam's ability to also get rid of the football was huge. The 2 sacks that were given up were a coverage, and I think we all saw that play. Nobody was open down the field. And chalk that up. You just lose that one. That's all right. He didn't get his face knocked off. He got pulled to the ground. And then the second one was a blitz off the edge, and I saw people, Dan Moore. I'm like, stop. I almost tweeted at somebody yesterday. Not in defense of like Dan Moore, but like if you're watching the offensive line, just real quick, let's go to school. If you're watching the offensive line and the left tackle slides right, the left guard slides right, and everybody else move right, that means that's a full slide protection. So what happens on full slide protections is everybody slide right, and whoever's in the backfield is responsible for anything off the left. You can usually cut them. Tajay was late to the party yesterday. If I'm not mistaken, that was him in the backfield. That wasn't on the offensive line. That was on the running back. Now, that sack still at the end of the year is going to be contributed. The offensive line gave up this many amount of sacks. But that's on the running back right there.
Fair.
He's hot right there, and the running back got to pick him up. But what I saw, to answer your point again, they won more. Mm-hmm. They finished the blocks longer.
And against a really good edge rusher in Josh Sweat.
Yeah, who still had a day.
Still had a pretty solid day, but not as much of a game wrecker as good edge rushers of his caliber have been to the Titans of the past.
And the other part of that, too, you knew it, the Titans been down 21-6, they had to pass the football.
Yeah.
And you got to give a tip of the cap to them, too, for holding up.
For sure.
The running wasn't there, and it's because you were trying to play catch-up, too. I'd love to see when teams get down steadily, running the football if they have the opportunities to. And there were moments it popped up, but not consistent enough because, again, 21-6 is a long way back.
So Albert Breer at SI.com writes in the Monday Morning Quarterback today about one major reason why the Titans won yesterday and one major event in the facility last week. There's new reporting out there, Ramon, this morning from Albert Breer that says on Wednesday, with talk on his job status ramping up, Brian Callahan called in his captains. Calvin Ridley, Tony Pollard, Jeffrey Simmons, Amani Hooker, Cody Barton, and Morgan Cox. Albert Breer writes for an extended conversation on the state of the team. The reporting on this says he let them air grievances and look for deeper investment in what the Titans are doing. He also took personal responsibility for a team that was playing competitively, but lapsing too often and allowing games to slip away. Brian Callahan tells Albert Breer post-game in this article says, we all had to do better of coaching, of playing. It's everybody. I have to do better. Our best players have to make plays. It doesn't have to be perfect. We aren't looking for perfection. We are looking for precision. I think the precision part of it is critical. Interesting. Captain's meeting last week for the Tennessee Titans that clearly had some good results.
And it was mostly about his job security. You know, like that, it's hard. It's hard rooting against coaches that lay themselves at your feet like that. Because, again, you as a player are trying to find out ways in which you can help him.
So, go ahead.
No, I was just saying because, like, he's transparent as hell.
He is.
And y'all don't understand. Like, there's not many coaches that allow themselves to be like this. Not even a little bit. And that's fascinating. I mean, I kind of want to ask Cody about it, but I almost feel like it's too personal.
No, we can ask. We will absolutely ask Cody about it at 9:30 this morning. So the benefit of who we've got on the show this morning is that we have one of those captains. Cody Barton's going to join us at 9:30.
No doubt.
Also in this piece that I wanted to get to before we move on to college football after the break, Albert Breer at SI.com writes, Brian Callahan discussed the "we ass" soundbite with Cam Ward from last week, telling him he appreciated his will to win, but he should be cognizant of how his comments might affect other people and that he could polish what he says a bit. Ward, for the most part, felt like the remarks did serve their purpose. Cam Ward told Albert Breer yesterday, I just think we needed that. We needed it known how we weren't complimenting each other on both sides of the ball. We weren't playing our best. The biggest thing is that the guys in the locker room respected it. Cam Ward goes on to say, they know how I feel. We weren't on our P's and Q's on offense, and we just have a bunch of individuals that take it to heart, but in the good way, as far as just holding each other accountable and being resilient. Mm. So, similarly to what we heard in the locker room last week, where veterans were saying, yeah, we told Cam he's got to have a little bit more of a filter than that. Cam, I think, understands that, but also on the back end of it is telling Albert Breer, like, yeah, but it kind of worked, didn't it?
Yeah. I mean, because he was right. The best way for Cam to have said that is, we're just not doing enough. We need more. But here's the thing. This fan base is going to love his transparency, him saying we are trash, basically. But again, you go into stadiums, if you go on a losing streak again, and other teams are going to have that up. You don't want that to be your calling card. Again, 100% true and transparent of the performance. But as a quarterback, the PR training that he's going to have on how to handle those types of moments is especially when you're talking about yourself like that, you're going to have to be cleaned up a little bit.
615-737-1045 is our number. The college football hour begins after this. I think people are digesting Alabama Vanderbilt in the wrong way on social media. Plus, what in the world happened in Gainesville, and why are we still waiting on Arch Manning to just snap out of whatever he's needing to snap out of? Plus, UCLA now has as many top 10 wins from their interim head coach as James Franklin has at Penn State. We'll talk about all of it coming up next. Relocating and moving in Nashville can be a challenge. And if you're looking to move into that new neighborhood, maybe you've been thinking about selling your home, Bernie Gallerani Real Estate is where you need to go. What's up? It's Will Bowling. For Lisa, selling her home of more than 20 years felt overwhelming. She was recovering from surgery, living alone, and unsure how to take the next step. That's when Bernie stepped in. With compassionate guidance and just the right amount of encouragement, the team helped her prepare, host open houses, and in just a matter of weeks, she had a strong offer on the table. Don't just go with that agent who tells you they can help. What about an agent that guarantees that they can help? Bernie Gallerani guarantees to sell your home within 30 days or he'll buy it. No questions asked. And if you need to relocate for a job in a short amount of time, maybe you found another property you want to purchase and you don't want to pay 2 mortgages, this is the sale and the deal that you need. So get the 30-day guarantee from Bernie Gallerani and Bernie Gallerani Real Estate. 615-428-2644 is the number. That's 615-428-2644. Or go online to BernieGallerani.com. Ramona Willow, 104.5 The Zone, hour number 3 of your Monday morning and Victory Monday on the program. Ramon Foster back with us. Will Bowling, Jackson Williams in for Justin Hawkins behind the controls. Ramon, something happened to me over the weekend that has never happened before.
What would it be, Will?
I got mistaken for a Vandy fan on social media.
Do they know you?
Clearly not.
Did they check your profile?
And that's okay.
Yeah.
But taking off any kind of orange tinted glasses and watching Alabama beat Vanderbilt 30-14 on Saturday, I thought this was obvious, but clearly my take was contended by a lot of upset Alabama fans in my mentions. And I'm curious if you felt the same way, Ramon. I tweeted this out over the weekend at Will_Bowling. You can follow Ramon at Ramon Foster, the show at Ramon and Will. And I said the following. Vandy belonged on that field with Alabama. Just can't make that many mistakes and win in that building. Diego Pavia's red zone turnovers were the difference. Sometimes it's that simple. What do you think about that?
That's about right. I think that's fair, and that's, a solid analysis of the game. I do look at the way Vanderbilt played, and I do share those sentiments. I do have one contrasting thought from yours, though, too. It is just looking at that game, looking at the matchup. They deserve to be there. The differences was the start of how Vanderbilt played this year versus how Alabama has already been playing, too. They lost bad to Florida State earlier in the year. Alabama did. And they found themselves inching their way back to show who they are and what we think they should be for the rest of the year as far as Vanderbilt's concerned. As far as Alabama's concerned. The issue that Vanderbilt had to me as far as going into that matchup. Now, we're going to see how they adjust going into LSU. Is it this upcoming weekend? Or are they on a bye? Either way, I'll find that. But the way I view this for Vanderbilt is this. Yes, they belong to be on the field. They competed. They absolutely smacked Alabama in the mouth, I thought, early. Big runs on them. Diego Pavia was able to do what he was supposed to, but the issue that Vanderbilt had was they allowed Alabama's guys to do and be who they thought they were. There was zero stoppage of Jam Miller. There was zero stoppage of Ryan Williams.
Jeremy Bernard was excellent in this game.
Bernard was also, and the guys that you needed to show up in big-time moments, Diego Pavia, Eli Stowers, they did not show up and prove. Stowers had an egregious drop. And that was, to me, just a separation of guys that have been playing in those type of games versus Vanderbilt's first time showing up in that role. And that, I think, was a separator between the two teams. As we're talking about who belonged and who didn't, Vanderbilt absolutely belonged on the field with them. Vanderbilt had, I thought, Kalen DeBoer, I hate to always use this analogy, but he had him looking like Coach Klein off the water boy. He was nervous. I felt like looking at how Vanderbilt struck them in the mouth early, you said to yourself, ooh, at least I was, as I was watching the game with Savage. I was like, ooh, he's looking like Coach Klein. He didn't know what to do.
Right.
And then they had a defensive turnover, which is what you expect out of Bama.
I thought Vanderbilt needed their A game to win in that building, and they didn't play it. And to be fair to Alabama, they get credit for also forcing those turnovers and being there, again, when the ball's thrown to them. You got to catch it.
Yeah.
And you got to force those fumbles. But Diego Pavia put this loss on himself after the game. Said, I put that game on me. You can't turn the ball over twice in a game and expect to win. Myself, I pressed too hard because time was limited. Alabama was not perfect in this game either, but they get the benefit of playing at home and being the more talented team. That you have more to fall back on if you don't play well. The onus was on them to go win this game, and they did. But I do think that Vanderbilt proved it is not old Vandy. That this is still not your grandfather's Vanderbilt. It's probably not even really your dad or even your older brother's Vanderbilt. Mm-hmm. This Vanderbilt team went toe-to-toe with Alabama, had a chance in the fourth quarter, and it slipped away because Bama made a couple more big plays. That game went pretty much exactly how we laid it out last week. Hey, Vandy's good enough to hang. Vandy's good enough to be in it. If they play their A game, they can absolutely win it. But I felt like Alabama was always just going to make that one extra big play. And that's exactly the way this game went. Now, Alabama did a really good job slowing down Vandy's run game in the second half. And outside of one 65-yard run by Cedric Alexander to score the opening touchdown, they only ran 17 times for 71 yards. I think there were adjustments that were made. There were not those missed assignments. And that one missed assignment cost him 7 points and 65 yards. But this was Diego Pavia. And it was Diego Pavia being the main reason, Ramon, why Vanderbilt didn't win the football game. You can't turn it over in the red zone twice on the road and expect to win in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Heck, you can't turn it over twice in the red zone and expect to win in Columbia, Missouri, which is a much easier place to play. That was a big moment for Diego Pavia with all that he has said and the knee that he took in pregame and all that he said after the game to an Alabama fan that was jawing back and forth with him. Diego's got to suck it up and live with this one because Diego Pavia is a really big reason why Vanderbilt did not pull off the upset in Tuscaloosa on Saturday.
To your point, I'm going to say something. To your point about the antics that he's had, Diego Pavia is Vanderbilt Shedeur Sanders. People want to hate to beat you.
It's a funny way to put it, but it's a pretty good comparison.
He's doing the same stuff. He's trash talking the way you love to see that. He's doing antics like taking the knee in a pregame to do stuff like, and he's tossing the ball in the air in a celebratory way to show that we're needing to win this. He's becoming friends with celebrities. You got Johnny Manziel on the sideline.
Are you all right with that? Johnny Manziel being on the sideline?
Johnny got connections. He's a Heisman winner. He's a Heisman winner. I mean, he got connections. That's the same way. I mean, Bama have all their dudes on the sideline like that. But to your point, he's not a Vandy guy.
I think Johnny Manziel's influence and Johnny Manziel's hero balls maybe had a little bit too much of an influence on Diego Pavia. I'm not saying Johnny Manziel is the reason why Vandy lost. But what I am saying is that Diego Pavia has more help this year.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to be Johnny Manziel.
Don't need celebrity stuff.
He doesn't even need to be 2024 Diego Pavia.
Yeah.
He just needs to manage the game and not turn it over. I mean, not try to do too much. And he said it postgame. Diego Pavia, talking to the media, said, you can't turn the ball over twice in a game and expect to win. Myself, I pressed too hard because time was limited late in the game.
His big boys up front were moving. I thought the offensive scheme that they have is very tricky. They move right, the ball goes left. The throwbacks that he has, his ability to pump fake at the line of scrimmage and throw downfield, like, it's there. He ain't got to do much because the offense in itself, Will, is allowing him to do as much as he wants to right then. Like, you ain't got to do extra. Like, the stuff that he's doing, I thought Bama tried to hit him early. They caught him on a run, and two guys absolutely smacked him. He hopped right up. Like, they did everything that they were supposed to try to do to Diego Pavia. He kept getting back up and kept punching and kept fighting.
What this was Alabama flipping the script on Vanderbilt. They did to Vandy what Vandy did to them last year.
Facts.
And Diego Pavia said at postgame, said, we didn't play Vanderbilt football. They beat us the way we beat them last year. Vandy lost the time of possession battle by around 15 minutes, went 5 for 11 on third down, and turned it over 3 times. Now, from the Alabama perspective, Ramon, it shows that they can grind out and manage a game in the second half with a lead. And they proved again that Ty Simpson looks like one of the best quarterbacks in college football.
He brought it.
He's got time to throw. He's got a running back / receiver at left tackle named Caden Proctor now, who has caught a pass and carried the football in the last 2 weeks. And I think Alabama has really turned a corner. They get a lot of credit for forcing some of those Vandy mistakes, so it's not just on Vandy not living up to it.
Right.
Bama went and won the game. There's no doubt about it. But I left that game, Ramon, thinking, all right, Vandy is who we thought they were. They're a top 15 to 25 team. They're solid. I think they've got an 8 or 9 win potential, and where they were ranked and our expectations of them that were reset are about right at this point.
Turn my own mic off over here.
Yeah, you did. That's okay.
Now, I will say, though, too, I will caution. I know we got Seth on the line want to talk Vandy. This is the first time in this season that they've had, in which they've had, respectfully, a real good team.
Yes, that's right.
I don't know what LSU is. I know Missouri should bring it. What is Texas?
I mean, they played Texas in Nashville. I think right now I'm more confident in Vanderbilt winning that game than Texas winning it.
At this point, the Heisman favorite just need to be sat down. It's time to pack Barch on up.
Yep.
Like at this point. But that was, I felt like, the first real test like that. And Bama did to them what they do to everybody else in Tuscaloosa. You're going to fight them because you got to give your all to fight them in Alabama, down in Tuscaloosa. That second half start, and you better either have the same mentality you did to start the game over, or they're going to do exactly as they did and just walk you down and score and pile on, and that crowd going to get loud. And it does get loud in Tuscaloosa. That's what they did to them. I mean, the 16-point, they covered the spread at that point, too.
Let's get Seth in here, 615-737-1045. What's up, Seth?
Good morning, fellas. How y'all doing?
Good morning.
I'm going to keep this short and sweet. I'm a diehard Vandy fan. Outside of the turnovers, the big takeaway from the game is, why does your running backs, between Alexander, Newberry, James L. Lassiter, why do they only have 6 total carries? Why are there no jet sweeps to Junior Sherrill, anybody like that? That's a big component of Vanderbilt's game, is running the ball. They did not run the ball enough with their running backs. I'm calling my shot. Y'all boys be ready for this. Tennessee takes down Bama in Tuscaloosa. Y'all have a good day.
Ooh, thank you, Seth. Appreciate the call.
To Seth's point, he's right. But again, they started pressing.
Yeah, I think they put the ball in Pavia's hands a little too much.
Way too much.
21 of 35, 198, touchdown to the pick, 12 carries for 58. I mean, Vandy averaged 7.6 yards per carry, but they only ran it 18 times.
I know.
That to me, though, Ramon, is what we talked about last week, too. If Vandy gets behind, they have to stick with what got them there.
Yep.
You can't, playing with a deficit, just all of a sudden start becoming a different version of yourself, because it's like those Paul Johnson Georgia Tech teams that would get down. Like they would keep running it.
Yeah.
You have to keep running it, because triple option and trickery and deception with a talent deficit against your opponent is what got you here. I agree. I agree with Seth that I thought they abandoned the running backs. And again, I know that Bama's got a big advantage up the middle, where on the edges and trying to manipulate the eyes and move those linebackers, that's where you're going to have success. And that is more indicative of a running back going up the middle and then Pavia keeping it and going around the edge. But I just thought Pavia tried to do too much. Like, I'm curious how many calls were made to get the running backs the ball, and Pavia pulled them on options himself.
Now, well, that's also true, too, because I'm thinking, I know he's tough. I know he can run, and the trickeration of the offense allows him to get in open space, but also the difference of the second half, too, in their defensive tackle, Alabama's James Smith came back in, who was suspended for the first half. Immediately, his impact was felt, because I feel like he was in on the TFL on them in the backfield.
Yeah.
That was the adjustment, too, that Vanderbilt didn't make with him coming back into the game. He was listed at 6'3", 297, about 6'3", 300 pounds. So it was that part. I'm surprised, too. Bama's playing a 3-down front. I envisioned them being more of a 4-down, but they got a huge nose tackle up the middle, man. I don't have his name off top right now, but they got some hogs up front defensively, and they got a defensive player back.
Meanwhile, in Gainesville, Florida football did it again, didn't they? 29-21 over Texas. Comment on YouTube says, why were y'all so hype on Arch Manning when he hadn't showed anything prior to the season? I have never been more wrong in anything in my life as I am on Arch Manning.
Bro.
And how good I thought he was going to be. That being said, what he did show us last season, because he did play last year, he's gotten worse. He has gotten worse. And I'll tell you who didn't look worse yesterday or Saturday, TJ Lagway.
He looked like him.
Season high, 289 yards, 2 touchdowns, because he got his guy. Dallas Wilson finally played, the freshman wide receiver that got a ton of accolades after the way he popped off in the spring game. And it was the best debut for a freshman receiver at Florida in program history. Him coming back is a significant development for Florida Gators football and Billy Napier. 6 catches for 111. Their defense sacked Arch Manning 6 times behind an offensive line that looks like they've never touched anyone before on a defensive line. Good for Florida. And Texas has got major issues.
I think it's okay to say Arch is the reason they losing.
I don't think it's just Arch.
I mean, it ain't, but
that offensive line is abysmal.
It's Texas,
abysmal.
Though.
I know.
It's
but
Texas.
That offensive line is one of the worst in the SEC. And it makes no sense. And the receivers can't get major separation. Like, they have major problems that make no sense. On paper, they should be worlds better than what they are right now.
And the thing that gets me about Arch is this: his inability to make decisions. It's almost as if he's trying to make every pass perfect, or the fact that he's trying to only put it in spots. Like you gotta find ways to be fluid, and Arch just isn't fluid at all. It's egregious that also he was their leading rusher. What good is a Texas team if they don't have a running back in their offensive line that can move bodies up front? After this, been the speculation early in the offseason that they spent about, $25 to $50 million on a roster? Defensively, they got first rounders at every level, too. And you mean to tell me he's not comfortable enough, or you, Steve Sarkisian, aren't comfortable enough to say, you know what, Arch, you just not ready yet. They continue to put the ball in his hand. Like he threw it almost 30 times this past game.
The fact that Sarkisian can't get him ready, though, is what's incredible to me. An offensive mind as good as Steve Sarkisian and his inability to get a 5-star quarterback ready to play with the amount of time he spent on that roster behind Quinn Ewers for 2 years.
Force Quinn out, basically.
Kind of, yeah. Yeah. It's crazy. It does not compute. It makes no sense. We've talked about it. Again, even what we said a couple weeks ago, Ramon, I think is still true. Even the people that were in wait-and-see mode about Arch couldn't have possibly envisioned him being this bad. No way.
No.
Absolutely no way. No. So we were way off on it. I was way off on it. I'm going to take one of Buck's sad boy radio hats and put stupid over the sad. Also because I'm 0 for my last 9 on the Thursday 3 because I keep just getting incredibly bad beats at the ends of games. It's fine. We'll bounce back. But goodness, it is scary days for Texas. So now they got the Red River Shootout this weekend, which they're favored in.
Because of the quarterback situation?
I guess.
But that quarterback situation ain't that good either in Texas. Like, what are we talking about here? And to your point about that, like that, the way I see it now, that Oklahoma D-line going to eat this Texas offensive line up.
100%.
It may be a 9-6 game.
100%. A game of Big Ten football is going to break out of the Texas State Fair.
Oh, my gosh.
Commenter on YouTube says, Arch played private school bums in high school. Yeah, there are plenty are plenty of players, though, that play in small private school leagues or small classes and are good. I mean, that's not the reason why his throwing motion has just regressed from his sophomore year or redshirt freshman year to his redshirt sophomore year.
Yeah, you can't make that take. Like, either he's not growing the way you need him to, or he's just not good in college. Like, one of the two can be true in those type of situations right there. Like, there's plenty of private school kids that play football. Jalen Ramsey is one of the best to ever do it.
Well, that's a big private school league. I mean, he's more talking about in Louisiana. Like, he played in a small private school division.
Well, we're watching right now the young cat in Nashville Christian. Well, Davis, which one is it?
Nashville Christian, Jared Curtis.
Jared Curtis is dicing bigger schools up, though.
I don't know. It's apples and oranges because we're talking about a different state.
Like, sometimes we can blame it on the player.
I'm not going to pretend to be an expert on the division that Arch Manning played in. I'm simply saying that 2 years in college with Steve Sarkisian, that shouldn't matter. It should not matter. And the camps that he went to, too, it's not like he's just only playing those teams. Like, he earned his star rating. Absolutely.
Right. Before we go, Texas didn't record a single sack against Florida. No, they did not.
Did they not?
No.
Coming up, Nico Iamaleava and UCLA, and Jerry Neuheisel, who looks like a Lannister in Game of Thrones. Were also very, very relevant over the weekend and did something that has not been done in a very, 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 very long time. We'll talk about it next.
For many out there, it's happening. Your hair's thinning, your crown's disappearing. Maybe hair loss has you feeling your identity is lost altogether. Well, I've got good news for you. It's an incredible yet simple one-day treatment that starts growing your own natural hair the very next day, and it's guaranteed to grow for life. It's the Advanced FUE from Advanced Hair. We've all seen the pills and lotions that come with monthly subscriptions. They help retain what you have, but what if you want more of your own natural hair permanently in specific areas too. From advanced hair state-of-the-art facilities to the world-class doctors, it's not a maybe your hair will grow. It's guaranteed that your new hair will grow. You decide how much, how thick, and where you want it. It's why Advanced Hair has changed tens of thousands of lives, and I recommend them to everyone. For your free consultation and $250 off and 250 free hair grafts, call 629-348-HAIR. That's 629-348-HAIR. Visit their website at advancedhair.com.
Ramona Will on 104.5 The Zone, fueled by Scooter's Coffee. Go by and see Scooter's Coffee for a Victory Monday cup of coffee. Protein smoothies, Red Bull transfusions. You got everything you need there. They are just so quick. They're kind, courteous, and the food is warm. It's fresh. It's outstanding. Great way to start your day. UCLA made history in a good way, Ramon, over the weekend. 42-37 over Penn State. The Bruins with offensive coordinator Joffrey Lannister.
Come on.
Sorry, that's Jerry Neuheisel. Were 24.5-point underdogs. Ramon even took the 24.5 for Penn State. Didn't even work. They went out and they became the first 0-4 or worse team to beat a top 10 team, Ramon, in 40 years. Shout out Nico, helping Tennessee's path to the college football playoff a little bit this year.
5 total touchdowns.
Hey, give credit where credit's due.
Hell yeah.
Nico Imaliava was excellent in this game.
He cooked.
17-24, 166, but his ability to run and a lot of those tough runs, Ramon, should have been tackled short of the sticks a lot and just stayed on his feet. 16 carries for 128.
Dogged him. And doggone James Franklin after the game, we let the hangover of Oregon just ruin us.
Oh, no, if it isn't the consequences of my own actions.
Dog, that's what you're coached for. It's on you to not allow that. That's why, to be honest with you, that's why I was so hyped for the Vols winning a state like that, at Starkville like that. Because that stuff does linger. It's on you as a coach to have a team reset, to say, you know what? I don't care about the schedule. I don't care about the travel. We got to go answer the call. James Franklin, sir, you and Steve Sarkisian at this point, how many more millions do you need for a roster? How much hype do you need in the preseason? Which quarterback should you have chosen? All of these questions, like James, I got to call him James at this point. You can't keep doing this to us. And I would absolutely love for our Big Ten crowd that loves the champion and talk trash about the SEC to come answer this one. Come holler at us real quick. Talk to me about this one.
Chris Mueller on 93.7 The Fan in Pittsburgh tweeted this. Yeah, you know Chris. You know all the Pittsburgh guys. UCLA interim head coach Tim Skipper is now tied with James Franklin with one career top 10 win against a Big Ten opponent. Congratulations, Tim Skipper.
Shout out, Skip.
We learned that Tim Skipper was a human being a couple of weeks ago, and now he's got as many wins against top 10 Big Ten teams as old Jimmy Frank. James Franklin.
Jimmy Frank. I like that a little bit better. I just don't understand that one, though, for a team like this. Number 2 coming into the preseason.
It makes no sense.
So
it makes no sense.
Let me ask a couple obvious answers. The roster's good.
Yeah, really good.
The schedule's good.
It's manageable for them to go 11-1.
They went out and grabbed a highly successful defensive coordinator.
Yeah, that's right. Jim Knowles, who has still got shine on his national championship ring with Ohio State, is up there in the box.
Veteran
Andy Kotelnicki is the offensive coordinator who's in his second year. Drew Aller is supposed to be a first-round draft pick. Katron Allen and Nick Singleton are supposed to be the best 1-2 punch since Darren McFadden and Felix Jones at running back. And they've got an offensive line that brings back a lot. They got Dennis Sutton, who's blocking punts and playing. He's supposed to be the next big edge rusher.
Mm-hmm. Nothing. And each year he's had Michael Parsons. He's had Abdul Carter. He's got
Dennis Sutton. He's got DDS.
He's got
the dentist.
What are we missing?
The weird thing is that James Franklin in his career doesn't really lose these games.
And that's why that's why I bet the spread on that one.
Like James Franklin teams are almost always prepared to beat bad teams. And make no mistake, UCLA is a bad team.
Mm-hmm.
But, man, Jerry Neuheisel, that offensive coordinator, replacing the departed Tino Sinceri, they had a lot more tempo. Yeah. They went quicker. It looked like they played a little bit more to Nico's strengths in this game. He was a lot more decisive, Ramon, on when to run.
That's what I was upset about.
It felt like Nico wasn't going to his second or third guy. Because in college, you can live as a quarterback. Yeah. You are more athletic than a lot of defensive players. You can go one read or run and be a really good college quarterback. Oh. In the NFL, that gets a little bit more difficult. But Nico was, all right, if my read's not there, I'm running. And it worked. And a lot of those 128 yards on the ground were on scrambles.
Man, and they got to go to Ohio State this year.
Yeah, they go to Columbus.
This is, I know State College is probably livid right now. Like, if there's anybody that deserved to be saying, fire that man, it's probably them at State College at this point.
So, Texas, Clemson, and Penn State were all top 5, top 3 in some places, and are now out.
I have that message somewhere.
Are now unranked. What did we get wrong?
What did we get wrong? Quarterbacks?
I don't think it's just quarterback. Here's the thing we said this offseason, Ramon. Remember we said this talk about Tennessee. Everyone's floor is lower than it used to be.
Yeah.
Everyone. No one is immune in college football to a disaster season unless you're coached by Kirby Smart. Because Kirby Smart's bad seasons are 9 or 10 wins. No one is immune to this because the depth is not as deep. Mm-hmm. The talent is more spread out around the sport, and experienced program culture building guys transfer after their freshman or sophomore years where they don't play as underclassmen. This is the world we live in college football in 2025. It is harder than ever to predict in preseason where teams are going to be and who they are. That's it.
It is.
That's college football in 2025. It makes for outstanding television.
This preseason AP Top 25, not to disparage or go against AP voters. We got friends and people we know in that too, but it's questionable. Texas at 1, Penn State at 2.
Yeah.
Clemson at 4.
I mean, on paper, I got it all. I have no issue with doing preseason rankings. We get that comment on YouTube says preseason rankings are dumb. Like, it's okay to rank in preseason, but let's also be willing to come off of those predictions and let the facts of the games dictate where teams should be ranked. Because Vanderbilt, coming into this game against Alabama, had a resume of a top 10 team if you took the V off their helmet and put an A on it.
I agree.
We as media, as AP voters, are way too hung up on what preseason is. Then we move everyone up and down based off preseason. Preseason just needs to be a guess, and then the games start, and you need to chuck the preseason rankings out because that means nothing anymore once the games start being played.
That's a good, opener.
Like, I have no issue ranking teams in the preseason. That's fine. Just be willing to change your opinion in real time as games start. Yeah, it was another good weekend. College football.
A real good weekend.
That the haters and losers said was going to be boring.
No, I enjoyed it. Thoroughly enjoyed it.
615-737-1045 is our number. What adjustments did Cam Ward make after the first half yesterday in Arizona? Plus, wide open again for your Titans calls as we get back to the professional football team. 615-737-1045 as Hour 4 begins next.
9:02. What's going on? Good morning from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. I'm Jackson Williams. The Titans finally in the win column for 2025 as they head to Arizona and take down the Cardinals on a last-second field goal set up in part by this pass from Cam Ward to Calvin Ridley.
In the game, Ward throws downfield. He's got Ridley. He got it. He's out of bounds inside the 20. Yes. Cam to Calvin down to the 15-yard line.
Titans improved to 1-4 on the season and will head out west next week to take on the also 1-4 Las Vegas Raiders. You can catch that game right here on The Zone next Sunday. Sunday Night Football last night as the Patriots hand the Bills their first loss of the 2025 season, 23-20. Pats quarterback Drake May, 22 of 30 for 273 yards in the dub. Patriots improve to 3-2 on the season. For your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Away we go into hour number 4 on this Victory Monday. Ramon and Will. Titans 22, Cardinals 21. Our show fueled by Scooter's Coffee. Visit a locally owned location near you in Rivergate, Smyrna, Brentwood, White House, or Mount Juliet. Amazing people, amazing drinks, amazingly fast. He's Ramon Foster. Jackson Williams is in for Justin Hawkins. I'm Will Bowling. Wide open phone lines for you to react to the Titans and Cardinals. 615-737-1045. We will get to SI.com's Albert Breer and his piece talking about the meeting that sparked the win, at least as he describes it, as a captain's meeting that took place at Ascension St. Thomas Sports Park last week. We were hoping to be joined by Cody Barton at 9:30, trying to connect and confirm that. To know a little bit of a later start time for the team because we got home around midnight last night. So certainly all good there. We'll get Cody on, and if things don't work out today, then we will effort someone for this week.
And rest means more than almost anything considering you got to head back out west.
Totally get it. So we'll make it work however we can.
Don't mess up the juju, right?
Nope, absolutely right. So no big worries there. But hopefully we'll be able to have Cody here in 25 minutes. We will let you know either way. Let's hear again from Cam Ward, Ramon, about adjustments made in the second half. Cam was asked about the changes or the adjustments, and he had this to say.
A win, especially for my first one in a game like that, it's a big-time win. But I think the biggest thing is just we got to continue to build off of it. We got to continue to attack the week the right way and try to get a win next week.
For you personally to come back when it mattered, after a bit of a tough start, come back and play the way you did, how big is that for you personally?
It's really not that big to me, honestly. I played well previously in my career. I just got to be consistent at it. I think the second half, I really saw the field better in terms of just getting the ball out, letting my guys make plays. And I think Chig and Gunner, the tight ends, they did that along with the receiving corps.
Was there something that made you see the field better, like an adjustment or anything like that?
There really was an adjustment from the first half to the second half and far of what they were giving me from the coverage-wise is really me of more just putting the ball in play. They give it to me now. If the corner is back, I need to put the ball in play, let them make a play.
I'm sorry about that. Coach said he or somebody told you at the half just to see it. Did they help you change your mindset at all at halftime with their advice?
It wasn't really changing my mindset. It was more of me actually doing it. And I've seen it the same way they see it for the past couple of games in terms of just letting my guys make plays. And I think this is actually the first time I did that and ended up paying off for it. So it's just the games you play, the more you get experience with it, the more you get to learn your guys, and that's why we were able to win this game.
It's Titans quarterback Cam Ward after the win yesterday. What stood out to you, Ramon, about the adjustments Cam Ward made in the second half?
Him actually pulling the trigger on it. I think that's probably the most important part of his adjustments he said he made, and not just, doing what the coaches have asked him to do, what he should be doing, but he acknowledged it too. Him actually having success at doing it. Like, a lot of people change their techniques and the way they do certain stuff, and it feels weird at first. I tell people, when it comes down to sports, weird is probably right. It's because what you were doing was wrong, and you did that because you were comfortable. He mentioned corners playing offense, just giving his guys the football, like actually doing that and letting them go make plays for you. He can watch the play and get the play call and, be ready to move and march down the field. That, to me, I think is significant for him. If he can continue to adjust and trust his guys more, even as bad as it's been, that's where I feel like you see the Cam that they were wanting to draft number 1 overall. That's the uniqueness of him saying, it actually worked for me. That right there told me, in his mind, his way was better than what the coaches were telling him. Yeah. And he was wrong.
In the second half, the tight ends got a lot more involved. And in the first half, he only targeted the tight ends twice for 1 catch for 3 yards to Gunnar Helm, which was a easy check down. In the second half, that changed quite a bit. And I think Chikakonkwo is a big reason why this team won the football game.
I do too.
In a lot of the plays that he was making late, Chig's final stat line, with all of his production coming in the second half, 4 catches for 48 yards, 12 yards per catch. Gunnar Helm, 4 catches for 34. So in the second half, Titans tight ends had 7 catches for 80 yards. I'll get the job done.
Yeah, we'll get the job
81
done.
yards. 7 catches for 81 yards in the second half. Was that for you mostly checkdowns? Do you feel like the staff did a better job designing plays for the tight ends, or was it a mixture of both?
I think it was a little bit of a mixture of both. Also showing that those guys hadn't been targeted as much as you wanted them to. Gunnar had one, I feel like, before Chig did going into this thing. But when Chig got it and the way he ran downfield and had wide receivers blocking for him, that opened it up again. And the other part for me was, I think it became a matchup situation where Bo or the offensive coordinators or the offensive staff knew that Gunnar, for you to throw a route to him like that where only he could catch it, that to me is a game plan. You know the matchup. You got the matchup that you were looking for. His ability to bring the ball down was crucial in that moment to back them up. And like I said, too, we spoke about it earlier, was this. After that play where Gunnar got him down to the 1, matchups. They went right back to him and they got a DPI in the end zone. And they ran it in with Tony Pollard after the fact. The matchups allowed the tight ends to cook in those moments more than I feel like anything else. And, of course, protection played a part, especially with Gunnar going downfield. But listening to the TV broadcast also speak high of Chig. There probably needs to be more of him. Chig has an opportunity to be one of those sleeper signings in the offseason. If the Titans don't jump the line and try to get him taken care of early.
I agree.
That's where I'm at with what Chig's capable of, because he feel like this is the 4th year of his ascension to being a true pro.
Agreed.
He's a possession guy almost now.
Agreed. And beyond that, I mean, he's adding surer hands to an already athletic skill set.
Yep.
That's the thing about Chikakonkwo. We've never had doubts about what he can do with the ball in his hands. It was how often can you keep it in your hands? And that's no disrespect to Chig, who needed to address drops, needed to address fumbles. So far, so good. Now, he's got to keep doing it.
Yeah.
But in a contract year, or Chikakonkwo next year, off of his 4th-round pick salary, becomes a free agent, he needed this. Mm-hmm. And he needs to sustain this. I think Chikakonkwo is becoming a bigger part of this offense. And I think here's the thing, Ramon, that gives me hope about this offense. He earned the trust of Cam Ward yesterday. On a couple of different plays, Chikakonkwo caught passes in front of the sticks, made guys miss, got upfield, and kept the drive alive. He did that in Denver, too, on a 3rd down. I believe it was a spin move on a linebacker over the middle, reached the ball out and got a 1st down. I know the numbers aren't totally eye-popping, but let's be honest, with the way this quarterback and this offense has operated to start the season, how could they be?
Yeah.
You got to get opportunities in order to put up production. So far this season, Chikakonkwo's 34.4 yards per game. Again, it's not eye-popping, but let's be honest. Young quarterback, rookie, offensive line that's not been great. That's a career high yards per game so far for him. He is on pace for a career season if he keeps this up. And the quarterback is just now learning how to get him the ball in his best position to be successful. I think Chig has the potential for a really big season.
Yeah,
if this continues.
Yeah, he does, and he's doing nothing but adding to it, Will, more than anything. What you like is his run after the catch.
Yes.
That's been the most impressive. Yes. Chig has had moments where he's been wide open last year and didn't bring the football in. He seems to be the one guy, and I'm knock on wood as I say this, for a guy that's in the contract year, he's the one guy that doesn't have an issue catching a hot football from Cam Ward, it seems to me.
Mm-hmm.
You know he's going to get it. And then, of course, at his size, it's a mismatch all day. Unless you got a linebacker on him, it's a business decision for DBs to bring him down to the ground.
Yep.
And it's going to be crucial to do those types of things. And in return, if you go to Gunner and you go to Chig, Gunnar Helm and Chig Okonkwo, as much as you think you should, the wide receivers going to have to play their part in this too. I think that's also one of the reasons why it became a threat of having Calvin really catch down the field too, because he had other options. Right? Calvin can be the guy, but it does result to the fact of other dudes playing their part too. Every Batman needs a Robin. Or two of them for the case of the tight ends.
Chig Okonkwo and Gunnar Helm fulfill two really different roles from that tight end position. Gunnar Helm has the safest hands on the team, although he dropped one he'd like to have back yesterday too. But as a whole, Gunnar Helm has caught 84.6% of his targets, Ramon. That is the highest on the team. He is the only player on the Titans roster with a higher or with a positive catch rate over expected. Which is an analytic from Next Gen Stats that takes all the catches and all the targets you've had and tells you how many of these should you catch or should you not catch. 12.6% over expected. Gunnar Helm is catching more passes than what numbers feel like he should be getting. He only has 2 targets that haven't been caught all season. Out of 64 routes, 13 targets, 11 catches. One of the drops, or the other target that was dropped, Ramon, was the one by the pylon on the opening drive of the season in Denver.
Yeah.
When the DB just jarred it out as he was going down to the ground. Between that and the one drop on Sunday, that's pretty dang good for a rookie.
Yeah.
So he's got 11 catches for 98. Chig Okonkwo leads the Tennessee Titans in yards after catch this year. Chig Okonkwo has 172 receiving yards. 122 of them are after catch.
Chig's the type of guy you can have him play tight in the box. You can almost, I ain't going to say hand him the ball, but the same way I'm thinking the way Juszczyk is used in San Francisco. Now, that's how I feel like you should see Chig's role grow in the NFL.
Or even the wheel route they threw to Julius Chestnut lined up as a fullback. You could do that with Chig as well. And by the way, there was nothing wrong with what Julius did on that play. Cam's got to hit him.
Hot.
Cam sailed it.
If he puts it on the line, he's running still.
It felt like Cam wasn't used to having so many options and having so much time and having guys so open at times yesterday that it took him getting used to like, oh, I can kind of trust what's in front of me and stand in here and make a throw. 615-737-1045, our number. Want to get into this Albert Breer piece at SI.com about the meeting that took place last week at Ascension St. Thomas Sports Park. What Albert Breer, NFL insider, is hearing about the Titans and the inner workings of the organization and team ahead of and after a 22-21 win over the Arizona Cardinals. We'll do that next.
Is your concrete in need of repair? Maybe your sidewalk has shifted on you, your driveway cracked and sinking, or your porch steps have moved on you too. Shifting concrete can create a dangerous situation, just trip hazard around your home, and it's also a big eyesore. It's Ramon Falston. Whatever's going on with your concrete, man, call United Structural Systems. Ask them about their polyurethane foam injections. You've heard about USS for a long time. It's the same company that's provided superior foundation repair and waterproofing to Middle Tennessee since 1994. Well, they can also fix your sunken and settling concrete. USS uses polyurethane foam injections to lift and repair your sinking concrete in a matter of minutes. Lifted concrete can be walked on immediately or even driven on after about 30 minutes. So they're going through that long, expensive process of ripping out and replacing concrete. Reach out to the company I trust. You can go to USSTN.com, that's USSTN.com, or call them 615-488-7855, United Structural Systems.
Monday morning continues on Ramon and Will, fueled by Scooters Coffee, 104.5 The Zone. Ramon Foster, Will Bowling, Jackson Williams filling in for Justin this morning. Wide open to the phone, 615-737-1045. We may have an oversleeping Cody Barton here shortly, but we'll let you know.
Listen, those West Coast trips after dub are just different, man.
No hard feelings on our end. We get it.
Because
we totally get it.
The hypeness of the game, your sleep schedule's already thrown off. That's number one. You win, you get on the plane, and it's a good time. You got 4 hours to act a fool. Do you hear me?
A lot of food, too.
Yes, a
lot
ton.
of food to
You
eat
get
on the
food when you come out the locker room. You get it when you get to the airport, and there's food whenever you get on the plane. Plus, they usually have snacks and cookies, warm cookies usually.
The warm cookies are the best part.
I'm telling you.
And the ice cream sandwiches last night.
I had ice cream sandwiches?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Lord. But it's hard coming down. It sounds like a workout weight right there.
Yes.
It's hard coming down from those West Coast trips like that, even in a loss.
Oh, all good. We will get either Cody or someone on this week if it's not today. But hopefully today. We'll see. But not a huge deal. So no hard feelings on our end of Cody. If there's any time we understand someone not being on time, Ramon, it is when the plane lands at midnight and you got a lot of adrenaline to go to bed after the game.
Ain't no adrenaline. That's where a little CBD gummy will help you out right there. It's legal. It's legal.
That's
here.
right. Fair enough. So more time for you to call in, 615-737-1045. We're going to get into this Albert Breer piece at SI.com coming up here in just a moment. But first, let's go to the phones where Justin has a hot take for us this morning. What's up, Justin?
That'd not be Jayhawk.
Good morning, guys.
Morning.
Hey, hot take right here. Cam Ward throws unfriendly balls to the receivers in very, very tight windows that you would throw in Madden 26. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thanks, Justin. All right. What do you think?
I don't think that's a hot take.
You think it's true?
I think there's a good bit of truth to it. I feel like the fourth quarter, he found some touch yesterday. Now, which one do you blame? Do you blame the receivers on not having strong enough hands or expecting the hot football like that? Or do you blame him for trying to be a little bit more friendly? Who makes who is always the biggest question as far as quarterbacks and wide receivers. Is it them learning how Cam's going to throw because he's the franchise quarterback? Or is it, hey, bro, you put me in harm's way? Or, bro, my vertical is only 32. That was for a 40-inch vertical right there. You know, like he's young is what I would say. That level of forever changing how you deliver and put your team in really good situations. I remember hearing about Tom Brady often, finding the spot that he wanted to hit and getting his receivers to be where the ball is going to be and how he needed to be there too. Mm-hmm. I don't think that's much of a hot take as you would want to see. You ain't have to hang up that quick, Justin.
Yeah, I don't totally disagree. But I do think there are elements of the game where he does throw a friendly ball. I think those go balls on the outside are good. I think his out-breaking routes within 5 to 10 yards, Ramon, are typically pretty accurate as well and on time. I think there's blame to be shared between quarterback, offensive line, and pass rusher and pass catchers for why so many footballs have hit the ground. I think this narrative that Cam Ward is too good for the Titans isn't the best representation of the issues right now. The issues are shared by everybody. And yesterday, for the fourth quarter, they weren't issues.
Right.
They got it figured out. And maybe that's what things look like moving forward. I don't know. But, boy, it's a lot better to correct a lot of these things in a win, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It's way easier. Think about what the storyline is today. 0-5, right? The receivers got to catch the football. Who's going to rise up? The flow of the offense. Like, we saw all of those things kind of take a back seat, and now it's easier to correct. And this is how you kind of want it to be. You don't want to be correcting and negativity all the time because of losses. It's easier for those guys to go in the facility today and say, you know what, Tajay, you can't miss this block. And Tajay be okay with it because of a win. It changes the entire – I don't want to ask you too much about the plane, but from your perspective,
yeah, sure,
you felt it be a little bit lighter on the flight back. Did you not 100%. This time? Yeah.
I mean, the vibe and the whole – and I'm not a big person to try to oversell quote-unquote vibes because that's not like a tangible thing I feel like you can really measure. But that being said, the feeling around the team going to the airport could not have been more different than it was a week ago.
Mm-hmm.
And again, we've talked about this too. I think and I've talked to some fans about this both on and off air.
I think people would be surprised what the mood is after losses a lot of times in the NFL.
Tell them.
Because guys are getting paid. And it's not like college football that's a little bit more emotional. I think it's probably the right word. And the value of one win or loss is so much more significant. Like the best coaches in the NFL lose a lot of games.
Yeah, they do.
The best quarterbacks, the best players. So it's not that you become used to losing. You just move on a little bit more quickly because there are so many games and so many opportunities and so many paychecks. I'm not saying the Titans are okay with losing. I'm just saying that in general, you told me that. And you were not a Titan. You were a Steeler. And you were a team that never had a losing season in your 11 years. And that was one of the things you told me off air was like, you'll be surprised how okay people are after losses. Yeah. They just move on. They got families to go home to.
You have to move on.
Yeah, you have to. Right.
Yeah.
It's out of necessity. But that being said, this is a much different vibe. Much different. And even just like the staff, man, like just the people that are putting the helmets and the shoulder pads on top of the lockers and equipment and nutrition and just everything. Like, it is hard to lose that many games in this league. And I know that's obvious. It's hard for fans, too. I'm not belittling how you guys feel at all. I'm adding to it. But yes, long-winded way, I apologize, to answer your question that, yes, it felt a lot different on the plane yesterday.
No, that was a great answer though too. But here's the other part of it. Like what you will feel is going to meetings. Like that's when you feel like there's a
classroom part of it.
The classroom part. Yeah. There's a video of Coach Gannon from Arizona going completely off on the running back. What's his Mercado?
Yeah, DeMercado.
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 Going completely off on him. He hit him in the chest. And then when he walked away from him, he hit him again. And I was just like, Coach Gannon, respectfully, keep your hands to yourself, number one. But nobody feels worse than DeMercado in that moment.
Yeah, I didn't really love that. I agree.
I hated that.
Moments where it's that obvious a guy messed up, you don't need to spike the football on him to let him know even more they messed up. He knows he messed up.
There's no ifs, ands, or buts around it.
I agree.
He knew it. And to your point about guys understanding the moments and weights of it, that was one in which, at that point, you put your arm around him, like, bro, we got you. I feel like at that point, the game was over for Coach Gannon and the rest of the squad because of how he acted and showed his emotions in that moment.
Let's go to Tommy, who is a Cardinals fan and has called in this morning, 615-737-1045. What's up, Tommy?
Hey, guys, how you doing? I've been a Cardinal fan. I'm 62 years old. I've been a Cardinal fan since I was 7 years old. This is, I got to say, it's one or two worst losses. And trust me, I've been through a lot of losses. I agree with what Ramon said regarding the coach putting his hands on DeMercado. But do you think DeMercado's ever been watching replays and seen somebody do that and say, man, that's dumb. Why don't you just run through the end zone? I don't get it. I don't understand it. And then the Titans get a touchdown off of an interception. It's just painful. And third, I want to get y'all's opinion because I'm becoming less and less of a Kyler Murray fan. I'll support him because he's a Cardinal. But he just gives off a vibe like he doesn't care, like he'd rather, like he's good at a job that he doesn't like, basically. And I just didn't know what y'all's thoughts were on that.
Thank you, Tommy. Appreciate the call. A lot of fair points. What do you think, bro?
Man, listen to me. Kyler Murray, I question. I not to question anybody love of the game because he's a competitor and he's a number 1 overall draft pick, top 10 pick in baseball too, or top 11, whichever one it was.
Heck of an athlete.
Yeah. His don't give a blank attitude, his inability to want to finish competitive moments, his inability to make his team rise above without having D-Hop, without having James Conner, without having other weapons on his team, his inability to take Marvin Harrison Jr. over the top makes me question him most definitely as a franchise quarterback. What gets you going? You chose right on the baseball side versus football and you got that big contract, but what gets you going, Kyle? Like his just vitriol, I guess, for bad moments is like it's worse than Jay Cutler's at this point. You remember how Jay Cutler used to look in bad moments? Was like he hates the world. Mm-hmm. Kyler looked like he don't give a doggone about the world when it happens bad for him. Like and I feel like he's probably a great person, but it looks selfish in his approach sometimes.
Sure.
And where, for the leader of the franchise, he doesn't answer the call enough, at least as the optics go, the way I feel like he should in those moments.
Right. The thing with Kyler, I think that's so challenging is that if you box him in and keep him in the pocket, he is unable to pick you apart as a pocket passer. And I think that's the thing that Lamar Jackson gets a ton of credit for, is Lamar got to an MVP level in this league by learning how to play a drop back passing game and pick you apart.
Mm-hmm.
At the beginning of Lamar Jackson's career, it felt to me like when he was running around, he was always at his best. But if you forced him to make accurate passes from the pocket, from a stable footing, he couldn't do it. Well, now he can. Kyler's got to make that same adjustment because when he was running around and creating, and again, there's some similarities to Cam Ward in that a lot of his best moments happen outside the plan of what the play called was and the play within the play in backyard football. When he can do that, he's excellent. But is he playing enough within the structure of an offense? Not for me.
It's that.
Not for me. And that's the type of quarterback you see be inconsistently pretty good, but never great. Never bad, just inconsistently, he's fine. He's a middle of the road to bottom third, maybe middle third, bottom of the middle third quarterback in the NFL is about where I'd put him between 15 to 20 of NFL quarterbacks right now.
I agree with you. I 100% agree with you.
It's a tough place to live.
We have people asking questions, too, about the Dan Moore sack, the slide. Looking back at it, it's full slide protection.
Fourth and 10 at the end of the second quarter.
Most times the running back lines up opposite of where the offensive line is sliding to or where their strengths are. That was a full slide right, whether it was checked or called that way. Now, usually the running back lines up opposite the side that he's protecting. And I think I don't know the psychology of it, but I think it's because the quarterback can see the running back go left or go right to left. In this situation, he scans front side. If there's something off the edge outside the pocket, if there's nothing outside the pocket, O-line usually slides to the D-end to an outside linebacker. If there's a safety or corner front side, Tajay's eyes are supposed to go left because he's responsible for the left blitzer on that side. If you look at him, he's hesitant to go left in that situation, going opposite the offensive line. Somebody say, well, can't you line him up on the other side? Well, what if they sent somebody front side? That's where it plays into the O-line. He's late. He can always get over to the left side. And somebody probably asked the question, well, can't Dan just peel off and pick up the end? No, because Dan's responsible for the front side B gap that he's sliding to. That is, and it's irresponsible. And there's no other fault to be given unless Coach Callahan or Bo Hardery come out and say, no, that's on the offensive line. He was hot. He was supposed to be picked up. And that's a full slide protection. Running back or tight end go backside.
Yeah, should Cam have motioned Tajay to the left? Like, is that on Cam or is that on Tajay? Or both?
I simply look at that as just Tajay moment.
Okay.
Could Cam have motioned him over? Yeah. But how much, again, are you wanting him to do pre-snap?
See, my question then to Cam would be, why are we sliding right then where Dan Moore's got nobody to touch and then Tajay Spears has got to get the edge rusher? To me, that's a pre-snap diagnosis issue for Cam also.
If you look at that one, it looked like he key blitzed off of that one. It looked like it came up and he slid over late.
Okay.
That wasn't – it's a predetermined protection. Like, I don't want to make it seem like this is just how it is, but legitimately, that's just how it is on those type of protection. He scans right to left.
Okay. Greg on Facebook Live says, can't celebrate a win because of an interception fumbled into the end zone. Why?
Good for you.
Why not?
Come on, Greg. Don't be this way.
Why not? You still had to go down the field in 2 minutes and go get points to win the game. Your quarterback, who's a rookie, who hadn't shown you a whole lot in this game, snapped out of a funk and delivered a 38-yard bomb to your number one wide receiver, who, by the way, looked like a number one wide receiver again yesterday. Why can't you celebrate that? What's the problem? I don't get this. I don't get this. I really don't. You've lost 10 games in a row. You haven't been able to celebrate and win in a while. Just celebrate it. What is so hard to understand about that?
I'm with you.
This is not a sustainable way to win games. So what? Neither was Denver's 4 turnovers against you week 1. They got out of there and they survived. You were given a game, and you actually took it and put it in the win column this time. In week 1, you were given a game, and you took it, and you threw it into the L column. You didn't control what you could control. In this game, you controlled what you could control on the road when your offense had completed 5 passes in the first 30 minutes of the football game. Then all of a sudden, the offense looked like an NFL offense again. Embrace it. Celebrate it. Enjoy it. Sip that coffee with a smile on your face this morning that it's a Victory Monday because you don't know how many of them you're going to get in this league. So when you get them, don't be miserable. Just be happy. Just enjoy it. It's okay. It's okay to celebrate things. Rambling over.
If you don't like if that wasn't a win for you, the Jeff sack and a half don't count. Gunnar Ham's ability to catch on the side, that don't count.
You put yourself in position to where one play allowed you to then win the game.
Chimere DK didn't count. Like the ball that hit the ground and the team recovered against Cal, that don't count either then. Like, it's hard winning in the NFL. It just is.
Albert Breer at SI.com writes this morning in the Monday Morning Quarterback, Sunday was a great example of how people angry with how their football team is playing have clouded judgment primarily in what we saw in Arizona, saying there are a lot of dumb stories this time of year about needing to fire that person or this person. Albert Breer says, I'm not saying that everyone should have simply given Titans coach Brian Callahan and his staff a pass for a pretty listless start, but I also didn't understand the need to extract their pound of flesh now. Albert Breer writes, it's not even Columbus Day yet. Firing someone in October, in most cases, only means killing hope for having a real football season for your team and getting a few marginal advantages in starting a coaching search extra early. The temperature on all that has been turned up to triple digits in Nashville. Albert Breer writes at SI.com, it only got hotter Sunday as the Titans fell behind 21-3. But then a funny thing happened. A couple of things broke right for a young team still learning to play together. The rookie quarterback got hot, and by now, you know the rest of the story. Tennessee rallied for a 22-21 win. Albert Breer goes on to say, what you may not know is all the honest conversations that took place behind closed doors last week that helped set the stage for it. On Wednesday, with talk on his job status ramping up, Albert Breer says Callahan called in captains Calvin Ridley, Tony Pollard, Jeffrey Simmons, Amani Hooker, Cody Barton, and Morgan Cox Vol for an extended conversation on the state of the team. He let them air grievances and look for deeper investment in what the Titans are doing. He also took personal responsibility for a team that was playing competitively but lapsing too often and allowing games to slip away. Albert Breer goes on to say, we all had to do better of coaching, of playing. It's everybody. I have to do better. Our players have to make plays. It doesn't have to be perfect. We aren't looking for perfection. We are looking for precision. I think the precision part of it is critical. Callahan reiterated that to Breer after the game, saying, I love our team. He knew the players were doing the right things and that it would take time. Having the patience amid all the noise around him was key Sunday. Says even with the team Ramon down 21-6 in Arizona, after taking a 26-0 shellacking last week, Albert Breer writes, that was clear. Brian Callahan says, postgame, I saw the look in our eyes. We didn't flinch, never flinched, kept pushing. That mentality has sunk in. It's no panic, no press. We played together, trusting each other. We stole a little bit of the thunder with blind trust. You have to trust the guys to do their job next to you. I think I saw that today through the course of 4 quarters. They finally realized what it could look like if you do those things, end quote. Mm-hmm. There's more to it, SI.com, where you can find it, but some interesting stuff there, and I think a very relieved Brian Callahan to be able to talk about that with Albert Breer.
That's what that win did for you more than anything. It shows you that the strain was real. It shows you that guys were still balled in. It showed you those little small in-between, inside the locker room moments. Like Cam needed to grow up. Cam did a little bit yesterday. The defense needed somebody to show up besides Big Jeff, and they did. Like you saw guys and L'Jarius Sneed give effort after not doing such a thing against Houston. Like there's a lot of that plays into the concept of winning football games that Callahan is speaking of. So it's a process.
Coming up, Jeff, Jason, and Kenny are final callers of the day as we wrap up Victory Monday next.
It's Ramon Foster for Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical. Man, dealing with a plumbing, HVAC, or electrical emergency, man, nobody wants to do that at all. Most of the time, you don't know what it will cost or if it'll get fixed right or if somebody's just trying to sell you something you do not need. But when you call Hiller, the expert's going to solve your problems quickly. Ask me how I know. It's because I had Hiller out to my place just last week. They were doing some work on one of my HVAC units, pointing out an issue to me, man, got the part in, got it fixed quickly. Matter of fact, the very next day. It's just the work that they do. They didn't try to oversell me on anything or add something else to the price. No. The price you're told with Hill is the price that you're actually going to pay. There are no hidden fees or surprises when you get your bill. As a matter of fact, they'll bring the tablet up to you, itemize everything for you, show you, tell you about the warranties on the parts that they've replaced. It's just easy. It's easy peasy, man. One of the best companies out here when it comes to doing work around your home. They've been in business for over 35 years and are family owned and operated too. Their motto is, happy you'll be, the service is free. And to book with Hiller like I do, simply visit their website at happyhiller.com.
Work. It's what we do. Part of who we are. There is joy in work. And no matter what size your business is, the dedicated commercial team at Two Rivers Ford will find the work trucks and vans that keep your business moving. And Two Rivers is the only dealer that offers a 90-day free fleet management program that can help you save money on every single mile. The Commercial Vehicle Center at Two Rivers Ford. We work for you.
Ramona Willow, 104.5 The Zone, fueled by Scooter's Coffee, wrapping up your Victory Monday, at least our part of our Victory Monday. We will pass the baton to the Buck Rising Show, and you can get your wellness check on Robert Walsh, because the Ravens are also 1-4.
He said y'all can't hurt him no more.
Yeah, he said he's numb in the studio.
He's numb.
Jackson, good work today. You're with us all week.
Yup. What's up, boys?
What up, Jackson?
How you doing? Taking a lot of calls today.
Yeah, a lot of calls, but people are happy. Nobody's angry.
They're happy.
Nobody's angry.
Except Matt.
Let's hear from you. Except Matt. Except Matt. Let's get to our final two callers. First, Jeff starts off. Hey, Jeff, what's up?
What's up, fellas? How we doing today?
Good.
Good, man. Good to hear from y'all. Listen, first of all, anybody saying that the win doesn't count yesterday, I'm going to tell you like I told my snoring lover the other day, shut your mouth, all right? It makes no sense whatsoever. If you're saying that, you've clearly never been between the two white lines.
Mm-hmm.
Big Savage, how we doing, my man?
Man, we solid today, man. Vols was off. We were stress-free, man. We saw some other teams lose, and I smiled, okay? I smiled, just so you know, Jeff.
How about them dogs taking care of them cats this weekend, man? Look good to me, man. Hey, listen, as a member of the Trench Mafia, as someone who studies and teaches that craft every day, man, let me give my respect to you, big dog. You were a wizard with the Pittsburgh Steelers, an absolute monster. Ramon Foster, no doubt, has the best footwork in the 104.5 offices.
I wish they would try to pull a spin move on me, man.
Hey, I got my money on you, big dog, but let me get to it real quick. Let me push back on y'all a little bit.
There's more.
I'm from L.A., all right? Lower Alabama. We do things a little bit differently down there when it comes to football. And let me tell you, there's some things you can't correct. You cannot correct somebody being better than you. You cannot correct somebody outdoing you on that play. But what you can correct is effort. And how you don't correct that is just putting your arm around them and say, hey, buddy, it's all right, man. You got to correct that right then and there. Now, what you don't do is you do not put your hands on them. But you've got to correct that right there. Hey, man, you just cost us the game. Let your assistant coaches come over there and tell them, hey, it's going to be okay. That's what we're going to do from now on. Yeah. But as a head coach, you have got to set the tone right there.
I side with you there. I appreciate that, Jeff.
Thank you, Jeff. Appreciate the call.
It's just a smacking for me. The one in the chest, I get. The one walking away, he should have got a helmet to the back of the head. Yeah.
Ooh, oh, wow.
No, I'm so serious.
Myles Garrett played for them?
Probably gonna I got no.
Jason, our final call of the morning. Hey, Jason.
How you doing, y'all?
Good morning, Jason.
Yeah, I'm just happy that I'm not depressed the whole week because the Titans lost. I mean, a W is a W. I mean, that's, I think, why we all love football, because things like that can happen, you know.
Right.
Sure.
And then when it meant the most, they went down there and did what they were supposed to get that field goal for the win. So
that's true, too. Yeah. They played football yesterday. They simply played football and made plays. It was good to see, finally.
I mean, don't get me wrong. In the first half, I was looking up at the ceiling in the house, like, is this happening again? But like I said, they did what they were supposed to at the end, and Cam looked good at the end. I mean, that's all that matters. I mean, a W is a W.
Dub is a dub, baby.
Thank you, Jason. Appreciate the call.
Jason.
A W is a W. Great final call of the morning. Good way to end it.
We got about, 30 plus, and a dub is a dub?
Yeah.
And one? Two in
More
the
than
chat.
one. Yeah, we've had multiple.
Two.
It's okay.
And I get it. I feel you. You want more.
You are entitled to that opinion. As long as you bring it here, you're entitled to say whatever you want.
Only thing I will say about how a lot of people feel, I guess, is there is the want for more. It's never enough.
I think there is optimism that spark could light something, at least on offense, with Cam Ward in the fourth quarter. Yeah. Like, can we start in Vegas on Sunday the way we finished yesterday in Phoenix? We're going to find out. But maybe that is the breakout that Cam Ward needed to let things fall into place a little bit on offense.
Yeah. That'll be the ask, though.
100%. 100%. Take what worked to the fourth quarter and apply it for 4 total quarters moving forward. We're back at it tomorrow morning. We will have VolQuest's Austin Price to set the table for Tennessee and Arkansas. Do we have our other guest confirmed, Ramon?
I requested the time. I'm waiting for a reply back.
We potentially will
More
have
than likely.
CBS's Aditi Kinkabwala on the show as well. We'll get her on at some point this week. If it's not tomorrow, 6 to 10. Good to be back.
No doubt about it. Good people, you must remember, enjoy a win. And your Twitter fingers and your mic is always hot.